Here we go. Yeah, you know what I forgot to do? Because it's fucking metal. I forgot to, add the metal thing. I didn't do it. That was not decidedly unmetal to start the show this way, but we're going to do it anyway. Ha ha! You know what? This is totally unmetal. There's music and no picture. There's nothing. Well, you know what? This is a decidedly unmetal way to start the show, but we're here anyway. It is very Spinal Tap. That was fucking metal. Welcome to Midnight Metal, ladies and gentlemen. Episode number 9. I can't believe this show's 9 episodes. I don't know what just happened there, what the technical difficulties were. You know, why wait? Why just not bring him on? Mr. Dave Parker, director of The Hills Run Red. Welcome to Midnight Metal, Dave. How are you?
What's up, Rob? How are you, man?
I'm doing
How you
well
doing tonight.
You know what? Look what I got in a box.
Oh,
yeah!
Look at that.
Dude, look at this. This is decidedly metal.
It's super metal, though it's I Love You, so metal is way more just, the horns, man.
It is the horns. But this is like Hang Loose in Hawaii. But still.
No, Hang Loose is this dude. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I know. Shaka bra, I know. This is but I got this in the mail today from
That's awesome.
viewer, which is getting this in the mail today is metal. It is.
Dude, your viewers are awesome. I have to say, watching last night's show was really, really fun. It was very, very cool. Yeah, absolutely. John, what a great guest.
John Suntress, yeah, he's great.
Fucking wealth of knowledge.
Yep.
On so many things, and just hearing you guys talk was really, really fun. And then bringing people on again. I mean, I love you bringing in the community into this, which is what is totally metal about the show.
Yeah, no, that was fun. We're gonna. By the way, for any of you just joining us right now, we're gonna bring people in. We're gonna bring people in, bring them on, have them be in the show. I'm not gonna tell you when or where or all that, but if you've got a good microphone and a good camera, you might be able to join us for Midnight Metal. So, Dave, how was your weekend? Did you do anything metal this weekend?
The weekend, and the week building up to the weekend was pretty metal. Sadly, the week started and we lost someone that was very important to hard rock and rock and roll and metal, and that was Jim Steinman.
Yes, we did, dude. One of the most
legend.
A legend.
Absolute legend.
I mean, obviously, Meatloaf and all the great ballads that he wrote, and also one of our favorite movies, Streets of Fire.
Yeah, it's just a huge loss. He also did the musical to the Fearless Vampire Killers.
Yes, he did.
Called Dance of the Vampires.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, his contributions to the world of music were just so massive. And so the week started off kind of, very sad in that sense. And, he just, he was so important in the theatricality of rock and roll that, it just, and I always feel like he's been sort of overshadowed, not recognized enough, and he should be. And, so yeah, that was very sad. I read Confess by Rob Halford before, but now there was a sale on Audible for the audiobook, which he reads. So I'm listening to that again because I want to hear the words from the man himself.
And why wouldn't you?
Because what a fascinating story. Here is one of the metal gods, one of the greatest voices in rock and roll and heavy metal that there has ever been. And he had to live life sort of in a closet for a long time. But the funny thing is, he dressed like the cop from The Village People. I mean, I don't know where people were so shocked that he was gay. It was like, go to Santa Monica Boulevard and do the leather scene a little bit there and go, there's like 3 million Rob Halfords hanging around. It's, it's just, but it's awesome. And it's like, that's the thing. It's like, he is pure metal. And I mean, if anyone has seen that Mark Wahlberg movie Rockstar, that's very, very, very loosely based on what happened with Judas Priest at a time. And it's, but it's oh my, I don't know. I don't know if people like Rockstar, but it's pretty fucking unmetal. It's pretty awful, really.
Yeah, it's bad. I was gonna say, yeah. Well, I hope you're not gonna hold that up as some, paragon of rockness. It is not metal. Now, let me ask you this, Rob. Does he get into being gay and being closeted in the heavy metal scene? Was it something he was worried about?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course, especially at that time too, because it was like, he would be doing, he would do duets with like Sebastian Bach at a time in the early 90s and stuff, even up at that point. And it was just like, it was sort of a constant worry. And it was one of the reasons that he did leave or left or was asked to leave Judas Priest for a time, which is crazy. Because
he's gay?
Yeah, because of the potential image getting out and stuff like that. I mean, again, we're living in, backwards times.
I just think that if you were gay, I think there's nothing more fucking metal than being gay, fronting a heavy metal band, being Rob Halford.
Halford.
I mean, exactly. To me, that's fucking metal, Dave. It's fucking metal being Rob Halford and being gay, because you wouldn't expect it. I mean, to get into that space, good for him.
Yeah.
Did he ever have like times when he had to like hook up with groupies because he wanted to protect his secret? Did he ever? He
definitely covers, how he had relationships during that time and everything, and had to keep it, on the down low because, it's so funny. There's this great. It's on Amazon Prime now. Heavy Metal Parking Lot, one of the great short documentaries that's ever been made. And, this was done in the early 80s. And there's like, it's all about like tailgate partying, and there's this girl who's like, yeah, I jump his bones. It's like, so it's like what he was facing was the potential of his fans like totally turning on him and the band and everything else there. I mean, that's the thing people don't realize. There was a lot at stake at that time.
Yeah.
So it's a fascinating read, and literally I'm just listening to it again because I wanted to hear it in his voice. Right. Well, that's cool. It'd be cool to hear it in his voice. Yeah. It's a great book. Long overdue. So I saw that, and then we got a little bit of metal this weekend because Mortal Kombat came out. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Did you watch it? I did. And is it decidedly metal? There's really good there's fun stuff in it. I think people have a good time. It's R-rated, finally, a Mortal Kombat movie that's R-rated and brutal and bloody, but my problems with it are the acting is not very good, the writing is not very good, and you're like, well, who cares? But the way they shot the, fighting stuff too was just sort of like, it was too close up for me. It was like, come on, if you have great martial artists, show it wide, show them. And the thing is, Mortal Kombat should essentially be Enter the Dragon with blood and guts. Right. Yep. And it's not. Well, I almost think that the original movie that Paul W.S. Anderson did is better. So that was a little disappointing in its metalness, and there wasn't enough like metal flavor feel to it. Even they took a lot. They didn't even do the Mortal Kombat theme until the end, and I was like, wait, what? It's like, come on.
By the way,
So-
something very metal happened just now.
Oh,
Don Hartzell became a member of this channel. Fuck yeah, Don, that's fucking metal. Fucking
Nice.
metal. Thanks for becoming a member, Don.
Oof.
Welcome to the channel. Yeah. It's probably because of your beautiful face, Dave.
oh, I don't think that probably scares more people off than anything.
By the way, Dieter Bastian sends in a super chat. I mean, I do a show with a guy and he's sending me super chats. How great is Dieter Bastian?
And he sends you Blu-rays
And he sends me Blu-rays.
and 4Ks.
He's sending a message. He sent a super chat to you, Dave.
Oh, right.
Dave, I got the Ragman Blu-ray, but it's not good. More on Let's Get Physical Media.
Come on. We need a great Blu-ray of the 1986 Trick or Treat.
Isn't there one?
No.
Really?
There's not. There is not. That's the problem. Ragman, it's only been released on Blu-ray overseas. And if he's telling me the Ragman one is not good, that's the best that there is right now. So that really sucks.
Yeah.
It's a great soundtrack too. It's an absolutely fucking great soundtrack. And actually the band put out a remastered version of it last year that you can find on physical media too. It's not just, digital and all that bullshit.
Well, that's cool. XZan187 sends in a super chat and says, I work nights in the UK. It's great to come home and enjoy your metal stream. Thanks for staying up late on your end and for the metal entertainment. Well,
we
XZan, yeah.
And we aren't staying up late. We just do this. We're up anyway.
Yeah, this is what we do, man. Well, this is what we always do. Tom, Midnight's Edge After Dark is here. Who's been on this channel. Send in a super chat. Metal. Yeah, it is metal. By the way, Dave, I got a letter for us.
Really?
I did.
Whoa. No.
Yeah, whoa.
This is weird for me, guys. I mean, this is all like I watch Rob on his show do his thing. And, I see him read letters and everything else. So this is all new to me. This is all a very new, exciting kind of thing for me. So thank you guys. Whoever sent it in, unless they tell me I suck. And then,
they do not tell you you suck. And it's funny. I'm going to send, there's a picture that goes along with this letter that was sent. Actually, there's a couple. I will grab. I did not do the due diligence and load this up before I started tonight.
You know why? Because that would be not metal.
Yep.
Metal is being spontaneous.
Yeah,
dude.
that's
doing
right.
it on the fly, man. That's what this show is all about.
Fuck yeah, that's exactly correct. So there's three pieces of art that came along with this letter. So let me put those in the queue so I can fire them up and show you. And again, it shows how great the viewers. This is the best. We have the best community on YouTube. This community,
I think you do.
The people are. I love all of the people here, and the community, the Post-Geek Singularity. Everybody is great. I feel like we're always amongst friends here, Dave, because we're all fucking metal.
I feel it, man. I feel it. And I'm watching. Actually, I'm looking at the chat too, and Mercer Create is like dropping, Eyes of the Stranger and Queensryche lyrics and all that shit. It's like, love it.
Well, as well you should. You know what you're gonna love, Dave? Look at this. Here's some of the artwork that came along. There we are. I guess that's from last week. We've got a crowd. It's almost like we're from 1984, and there's thousands of people below us holding their hands up because they love us so much. This artwork was sent in by Ash Chowan. Ash Chowan is a longtime imagination connoisseur. I'm just going to read this letter. Hey, Rob and Dave. I just want to say how awesome it is to always see you two on Midnight Metal. These shows provide a much-needed break from a world gone awry. Now that mass vaccination campaigns, I recently got my first Pfizer shot, and gradual lifting of restrictions are being implemented. The magic date in California is June 15th for full reopening. We seem to be getting back to a semblance of normalcy, whatever the hell that is in a post-COVID world. Midnight Metal has made me miss the bar scene. I can't believe it's been well over a year since that scene abruptly shut down. Bar hopping up and down LA and in the heart of Hollywood, especially on the relaxed weekends, is something I hope to get back to soon. Experiencing the many offerings of your locale, meeting cool people, and going to new places you've never been to before is something I suggest everyone does. I just hope the solitary ways of this past pandemic year haven't made us comfortable with the seclusion of home life. All I can say is that the world is a big place, and the best place to start is your own backyard. So wherever you live, grab a buddy or two and go forth. In the meantime, I can only say that you have successfully translated the bar hopping experience into the digital sphere with Midnight Metal. Through the advent of technology, we're able to meet cool people the world over, have a few drinks, talk that drunk talk, and just have a good time. Thank you, Rob and Dave, for making this show into a weekly staple. Rock on! Attached are some JPEGs I did for fun. My Photoshop skills are novice at best, but practice makes perfect. We have Rob and Dave at a rock concert, their streams presented on a jumbo analog screen to their adoring fans. And we also have another creation, something that I just call Steppin' Rob. Look at that. There I am as Steppin' Rob, Midnight Metal. Yeah. Gotta love that. P.S. A little existential question. Oh, this is a really good one, Dave. Let's put us back on. I want to get your reaction to this.
That artwork, by the way, is fucking awesome.
It's fucking metal.
Yeah, your skills are just fine as far as I can tell.
That's right. God damn it. You know what? Anybody that makes anything for Midnight Metal, you're a fan. We're a fan of yours for life. For life.
Man, you gotta. I love this Steppin' Rob. You gotta share the birthday card I made with you as Thanos, but holding a bottle of Jameson's at some point.
Yes, I do.
Because it's great.
So wait, here's the existential question from Ash.
Okay.
Ash asks, a little existential question. Had it not been for Zack Snyder's Justice League, would there be a Midnight Metal? Probably not. I understand the first show was Rob post-date night drunk and live streaming, but the show has evolved into Midnight Metal with its fucking metal, man, as its official slogan, a phrase that was used primarily by Rob to describe the many Justice League trailers leading up to the HBO Max premiere. Well, Ash, that's very astute of you. It definitely, I have to say, that Zack Snyder and the Snyder Cut of Justice League was the inspiration for this show.
Crazy.
And because it is, I mean, Steppin' Rob. There we go. Let's take a look at that one more time. Fuck yeah. That's me right in the middle of saying, fuck yeah, dude. He also added this. He sent this as his third piece of artwork. The crowd is still there. I want to do that. Kind of like I can imagine my face 120 feet. A little scary, a little big. It looks like I'm about to explode. But, at a concert, there you go, Dave.
Amazing.
So
I think, I'm glad that the this pandemic is waning and that we're going to be able to get together and everything else. But how fucking awesome it would be to be able to hold forth a metal marathon and just have bands introduce bands and all that shit, and we could do it if we could do it virtually. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
By the way, I have more than one letter.
Ooh.
I have another letter. Greetings, Rob, and this is from Black Phillip Alvarez.
Oh.
Greetings, Rob, and my fellow PGS community. Back again with a letter. I hope is the very first one read on Midnight Metal. Maybe I read this last night. I forget. I was too drunk. First, Rob, congrats on yet another show concept on your channel. I know you have said it started off as somewhat of a joke and something to do spontaneously, and now it's another weekly show. Second, it was really awesome to get to appear on the show last episode with Dave Parker. Once I heard he was actually a fan of mine, I knew I had to appear since you were again allowing random guests on the show. It was even more metal to get close to the show, and absolutely the time goes by so fast when you're on a live stream. Well, I can now scratch appear live on one of Rob's shows off my bucket list. It was truly a blast, an honor, and a privilege, and I hope to appear on more future episodes. I also hope you stay with allowing random guests to appear, as it definitely fits the concept of the show. So thanks again, Rob, and stay metal, Dave. Are you going to stay metal?
Yeah,
fuck
of course,
yeah, I've got
always.
Black Phillip Alvarez. That was what I'm talking about, son. Yes.
It's about damn time he was on the show. So it was awesome. It was awesome that he was on last week. I fucking loved talking to him. Hearing his stuff, knowing how much he's been, involved in your shows and participating and everything else. It was great.
Oh yeah, totally. I think so too. I love meeting. Like I really, I was always talking in the first year of the show of taking the show on the road, and doing like if I had some kind of financing or maybe a sponsorship, go from city to city, like maybe do what Kevin Smith did with Red State. If I could get Free Enterprise into 4K or something, go rent out a theater in various towns, show the movie, and just do like a live Robservations around the country.
I totally know that you could. I mean,
would that be fun?
It would be a blast. And that's the thing. You could do it in sections because you could do a Robservations, and then you could do, the toy collecting, the show, and the physical media show. And then, and then we end the party. We end the night, the marathon night with Midnight Metal.
And we do
actually, that for a while. And then we have a fucking band play.
Wow, you just took my little idea and expanded it to greatness, Dave.
I'm telling you, that's what
something
you need, man.
That's something you could pre-sell tickets for that so you could finance it. I mean, I never thought about that, but that's something that could definitely be done. I'd have to figure out like what would a ticket cost. I mean, how fun would that be? Like a whole night.
Imagine, and just think of what you could do if you could really like do it. You could have like Dieter, like zapped in via video
from Saarbrücken, Deutschland.
You could have Willow Yang. You could have all these people pop up in different cities and stuff like that. Each city has a new guest and stuff, and then you have like one of your cool celebrity people that who can also join you on the show too.
Right.
I'm telling you. And then you end it with a fucking metal show, man.
And you know what we would do? We would showcase a local band. Like wherever we were, we'd get a local metal band to come and play a set.
And you have to do these at a bar. Of course.
Oh, I was thinking like a theater. Like where they could
as long as alcohol is served.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you have to plan it like like it's the Burnett Festival.
Wow. Robapalooza.
Someone else can come up with a much cooler name than the Burnett Festival.
Come on, Robapalooza.
The Monsters of Rob.
Oh no. But I think that actually would be fun. Like, I mean, it would be the kind of thing where if the channel, if I had 250,000 subscribers, I could finance something like that myself. But it would be, maybe you could. I mean, but what we'd want to do is make the show good. Like it would be, it's funny. John Campea did a million views, 100 million view party, and it was really surprising. I'm like, is anyone going to show up for this? Like he rented out a theater in Burbank, and it was packed. Right. Everybody came, and like. I think he said the tickets were even free, and I was surprised. And it was actually met a lot of really cool people. People brought us, they made us cookies, and it was like, I'm like, John, what are we gonna do? Because we'll just get up on stage and talk. I'm like, really? And people came, and we had a really good time, and that'd be fun. Like, if you weren't busy, we could hit the road, fly Dieter over, and go on some. We actually, what's that?
If I'm busy, right?
Well, no, but I mean, look, it'd be kind of fun. Like Dieter would come to America. We'd take Dieter on tour. It's a 15-city Robapalooza tour, starring Dieter Bastian, Dave Parker.
Fuck Robert Palooza. It's the Monsters of Rob.
You're right. That's what it's got to be called.
Sorry, guys. I'm leaning into the mic here to get the low.
It's okay.
In a world. The In a World Rob tour.
Louis Terraza sends in a super chat and says, "God bless you, Rob. These are saving my life, man." Well, there is that song lyric, "Someone saved my life tonight."
That's what we're here for.
I'm glad that's why we're here. We are here for you, Louis. But by the way, you have one of the Louis Terrazas. That's a cool name.
It's a badass name.
It's a badass name, Louis Terraza. I mean, that's like the name of a really cool villain in like a Miami Vice episode. Like some
no shit, yeah.
Louis Terrazas is coming up from Colombia tonight.
There's nothing threatening about our names.
No, Dave Parker.
It's Dave Parker and Rob Burnett.
Rob Burnett, yeah. It's like
plumbers at large,
Plumbers. Plumbers at
Yeah.
large.
I'm telling you,
That's
what
us.
like
Filmmakers / plumbers.
plumbers. That's right. Yeah.
You need a leak fix? Pitch us a story.
Why we fix your leak?
Yeah,
It's just a story.
Stubble McShave says, I discovered something metal yesterday. The movie martial artist Scott Adkins has an interview series with action movie personalities. Dieter Bastian could tell you all about this. He must be the biggest Scott Adkins fan in the world. The link is to the interview with Dolph Lundgren, but there are others as well, such as Tony Jaa. Yes,
Hey.
I didn't even know that until Dieter Bastian told me. It is definitely there and definitely cool. Booster's the name. Is that a Booster Gold reference? Booster's the name, became a member of the channel. Why, thank you for becoming a member. For those of you who don't know, you can become a member of this channel for $1 a month if you want. And every week, today I had a stream. We're doing either streams, we alternate, or Zoom calls. And the Zoom calls are really fun because I can see everybody's face. But that's something we do as a member perk of the channel. And we're going to be doing more stuff like that. So thanks for becoming a member. S. Beam sends in a super chat and says, I'm not very metal, but it's always nice to catch R&B content when I can't sleep. It's after 2 a.m. here. Laugh out loud. I have to be at work at 9.
Guess
9.
what? You're on right now. That's metal.
That is fucking metal.
You're metal. You're metal enough.
Donnie Hartzell sends in a super chat and says, Crystal Head vodka is metal. Gravity bong activated. That's metal, man. Go, Donnie. Go.
You know who created Crystal Head vodka, right?
Is that no, who created
The
it?
Ghostbuster himself, Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, that's right. It's because
Yeah.
I do. I have a Crystal Head vodka. I've got
I do
many
too.
Crystal Head vodka skulls. I like them.
Are they all empty now?
Mm-hmm.
You should fill them.
With water. I should fill them.
with mercury, because that's metal.
But that is metal. You can't drink that. You can't drink that.
Well, if you did, that'd be really metal. But you have to do it on air.
That's true. I would. So, Dave, should I drop a? You know what? Should I drop a
link?
A link into the live chat to see if somebody
We're
will
doing this
show
early.
up? I mean, if we're not going to be on for 4 hours, why not?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, if anyone's ready, if anyone wants to get metal with us live, if you got a good camera, a good setup, good mic, there
That's
it
right.
is. It's in. There's the rendezvous link. First
Be
come,
ready.
first serve. Whoever
Be
jumps
ready
on this.
to answer some metal questions.
Yeah, you
though.
better be ready to answer some metal questions. Otherwise, you're not going to be, you're not metal. We got 121 viewers here, Dave. 121 concurrent viewers here for Midnight Metal. We welcome all of you. Kinky Sphincter is here.
Oh yeah.
And I love my Kinky Sphincter. Let me tell you.
You sure do. For $5, you'll give a handy, I hear, as part of
Who
one
said
of the perks.
that? I
thought it
charge
was
a
one
lot
of your
more
perks.
money. That's not one of my perks. That's what I do for myself. I
Oh.
charge myself $5. Other people pay more.
Oh. The shame. Do you sit in front of a mirror and go, huh, you're worth $5?
No, there's no shame. I just marvel that I can still hit the mirror.
Oh. Wow.
That's fucking metal, Dave. Come on now.
That's so metal.
It's great.
I
don't know.
See you later, guys.
Dave, someone's here. Someone is here. Black Phillip Alvarez.
All right.
Jumping on. We're going to bring Black Phillip Alvarez in to it pops on and there's just an empty chair. Is he getting yelled at by his mom? I got to throw this on so we can look at his empty chair.
Is he getting yelled at by his mom?
Black Phillip Alvarez, there he is.
There he is, the man, the myth.
I'm gonna put him in. I'm gonna put him into the chat once again. Black Phillip Alvarez is here with us. I gotta it takes a minute. Gotta throw him in, make it all good, make him a part of all of the what the goings on here. Black Phillip Alvarez, can you even hear me? You can hear me. He can hear me. Well, let's bring our favorite Texan into the chat. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gentle beings, kind souls, however you identify across the 28 known galaxies? Give it up. I want you to cheer like you're at a fucking metal concert. I mean, you're going to cheer for Black Phillip Alvarez. Cheer for him. There he is. Yes, he is in the chat. Yeah, Black Phillip, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Not much. Good to be back. What's up, Dave? How's it going?
Good, man. Great.
We just read your letter.
I know. I heard.
We didn't read it first. Awesome. I'm sorry.
So what popped that Midnight Metal cherry? So.
That's what she said.
Lay some metal down on us this week. What was metal this week for you?
Yeah, what was metal with you? Come on, man.
Besides appearing on a show?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to reiterate something you asked me last week. You remember how you asked me about the metal albums you wish were to come to life?
Yes.
I have the perfect one.
We'll decide that.
Yeah, well, maybe not perfect, but to me, there's no rocker, no more metal than Ozzy freaking Osbourne. So I would say Bark at the Moon.
Bark at the Moon.
It's not the most metal cover, I know that, but just him being a werewolf, and my love of horror. So I think that would be an awesome album to come to life.
If I'm correct, if I believe correctly, Greg Canham, Oscar winner Greg Canham, did that makeup for Ozzy on that one.
Yeah, and he did makeup for Coppola's Dracula.
Yeah, and Lost Boys. But I would pick, as far as like metal album covers of Ozzy's that I would want to see, it's the Ultimate Sin. Ultimate Sin.
I thought about that one too, honestly.
I mean, him is like this winged demon thing with Ozzy's head on it and stuff like that.
Right.
That concert era tour was. He was wearing the Liberace robes and his hair was really like way out there and stuff like that. That was around the early. That's when he brought Motley Crue on tour with him and stuff like that, which was a crazy fucking tour. But he was a little more glammy at that point, or trying to be glam, and it was like no. But awesome album though. But I'd see a Bark at the Moon. It's like.
Yeah, I was doing my research. I was like, yeah.
I know you could take like album titles and make them as a movie. I'm surprised no one has
made Bark at the Moon.
Stolen the title Bark at the Moon.
That's a great title.
That'll make a great title.
There we go, Dave. There's our next movie. Bark at the Moon. I'll write it. You direct. I'll produce. Let's go make that shit right now. Come on.
I'd love to do a werewolf movie.
I would too.
Ozzy didn't do
all practical though. All practical effects. None of that fucking CG bullshit.
Like American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, we got Howling American Werewolf in London. It's got to be. It's all you have to do is watch American Werewolf in London, and then I don't only for scientific purposes watch an American Werewolf in Paris and see what went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch it.
Totally.
It's so bad.
I've never seen that movie, and I'm glad I haven't.
Don't ever. It is not. It is decidedly unmetal.
And there is not metal. There is a connection to American Werewolf in London with it, but fuck it, it's so fucking terrible. Did I ever tell you?
Like the son or something like that. The son of the
I think so.
David or whatever. I haven't seen the movie, so.
But how did he have a kid? Oh wait, no, he supposedly impregnated the nurse, and it was the girl who was the werewolf was her daughter. I believe that's the connection.
Yeah, well,
that's right. The daughter was.
It was
weird.
El Necron sent us a super chat and says, "Watched some Slayer, Merciful Fate, Decide, and Exciter videos to prepare for Midnight Metal." That is a fucking metal lineup right there.
A great fucking
that's nice
batch of videos, man.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever tell you, Rob? Now this will be controversial because I know John Landis gets a lot of shit for Twilight Zone, the movie, and everything else. But when I went to London to show The Hills Run Right at Fright Fest, which is one of the best film festivals out there.
Yeah.
John Landis was there because he was showing Thriller.
Right.
The remastered Thriller. So the directors all got to sit in the same two rows together. And I ended up sitting next to Landis the entire week that I was there for all the movies. And they were also showing American Werewolf in London. So it was funny because we're sitting there with him, and we would get like, you know, it was me, Adam Green, Joe Lynch, Joe Bashara, who scored the Conjuring movies, and we would get like this live commentary as all this shit is playing in the theater. But then what was really cool was one day he decided he wanted to take us all to lunch, so he gave us a tour through Piccadilly Circus, giving us trivia of shooting American Werewolf in London.
Oh, nice.
It was amazing. It was just amazing.
You know, that brings up, I mean, that is amazing. You know what else was amazing? You got to share a limo with Herschel Gordon Lewis driving down the Godfather of Gore.
The Godfather.
I love that guy.
We met Herschel Gordon Lewis he passed away. He's no longer with us. But first of all, what a nice guy.
Oh my God!
You know, and he was there with the movie.
And he was with his wife.
He was with his wife, and a delightful man who'd worked in advertising. And I had a long conversation. I took a picture of the two of you that's on my Facebook page, and
We'll have it.
we were all going to go, but there wasn't enough room, so I go, no, you got to go. And his movie was playing with our movie.
Yeah, that's right.
I forget what it was called, but
he was in the movie. He didn't.
Yeah, he was in the movie.
He had directed,
he was in the movie with what's her face, the beautiful porn star
Sasha Grey.
And how cool was that? That was metal too.
I mean, the Godfather of Gore. I mean, that's the thing. You know, the nicest guy
totally
ever.
metal.
He's so fucking. You know, the thing is, what was great about him is he knew what he had made. And he knew why he had made it. He wasn't one of these people who got like delusional over the years going, oh, I made, you know, everyone's saying I made these classics and everything else. It's like, he was like, look, you know, his real success was in advertising, not very very sexy or metal. But the thing is, he was hugely successful in advertising and real estate. Yeah. And, but then he had made Blood Feast and 2000 Maniacs and the Gore Girls and Taste of Blood and, you know, the Wizard of Gore. I mean, things that friends of ours have remade at this point. Right. You know, it was one of those really nice, as a horror fan, surreal moments where you actually get to spend time with legitimate legend. And I've been really fucking lucky, you know, being such a horror fan that all the people that have influenced me, you know, made me want to make movies and love horror and everything, I have either become friends with or interacted with. And I mean, again, I'm old, so it's, you know, I had a lot of time to like build this up. But no, but that's the thing. We've gotten to meet our heroes. And the nice thing is, I can say this at least with the horror people, the horror directors and everything, the legends, none of them disappointed. None of them were like complete assholes or horrible people or anything like that. They were fucking just amazing.
I believe that.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I really got to know Stuart Gordon, and when we made Free Enterprise, a lot of people like Don Coscarelli would come watch. I mean, he directed Phantasm, would watch cuts of the movie as I was cutting it down, and Stuart came, and a lot of these guys were very, because of Schweiger and stuff, were very generous with their time.
It's so surreal. It's so surreal.
I mean, I remember going over to, like, Don Coscarelli's wife, Shelley, is just delightful. Yeah. And in my mind, sometimes I make songs up about people, and Shelley Coscarelli just sounded good. And she has a musical name. But I went to their house, you know, and Don, at one point, we were going to try and raise money for another Phantasm movie, and then he sort of kind of got cold feet because he controls it all, and he didn't want to cede control to us because we thought we found some money. This was way before Ravager, but and we actually did find some money, but it didn't work out. But like you said, Dave, meeting these guys like Stuart Gordon, he was delightful. You know, Darren Scott and I were working with him trying to get a movie off the ground, and it was so great to meet a lot of these people, and especially the horror crowd in particular is pretty great. Like, I first met Joe Dante seeing Gremlins at the Seattle Film Festival in 1984. Wow. And I think he was dating his editor, Tina, at the time. And one of the nicest guys in the world. Like, you know, you talk to these people. I met Landis. First time I met Landis, John Landis was sitting next to me at a screening of The Abyss, when The Abyss first opened, not the director's cut, but when it first opened in '88. And it was one of the first things I did in California, and I met fucking John Landis in a movie theater at screening.
He's a handful.
We had a conversation, and he was wrong, and he thought we were talking about James Cameron shooting in spherical Panavision. I said, you know, Cameron's never made an anamorphic movie. Terminator.
You're wrong.
Yeah, and he's like, that's not true. And of course, the aspect ratio of The Abyss is 2:35, but it wasn't anamorphic lenses. It wasn't Panavision.
Super 35,
and it was Super 35, and I didn't want to get into an argument with him.
No,
and I'm like, bruh. I didn't want to say, like, dude, no. So, but it was so cool.
I just saw someone, Nay said, Frank Oz is kind of a horror director. No. Little Shop of Horrors, great movie, amazing movie. Frank Oz, amazing director, not a horror director.
Have you seen?
But he's in American Werewolf in London.
He is in American Werewolf.
Metal.
And that's fucking metal. By the way, Zach Losel sends in a super chat and says, as long as tickets for Monsters of Rob get here faster than Hot Toys pre-orders, count me in. L'chaim, you metal motherfuckers. L'chaim. L'chaim to you, sir.
L'chaim.
They'll definitely get here faster than a Hot Toy.
Yo, half my Hot Toy pre-orders, I mean, I'm coming down to the wire. You guys
are going to be dead and still getting Hot Toys sent to you.
That's what I told you. You saw what I got this week, right?
No.
You didn't? I'll show it again.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that's so nerdy.
1/6.
Oh, breaking it.
Yeah.
That would be
metal.
It is not metal. You don't want this
off, Rob. Be totally metal and just smash the whole thing.
Fuck no! I waited so long for this. I love this. It's so great. Sorry, the thing was I knocked it off. But this is the 6 scale Jazz Inc. land speeder, and this I love this. I love it.
Does it levitate? Does it actually?
No, but it does. It did come.
Does it light up?
It's not metal, guys.
No,
it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't actually like fly or anything. It's not.
You want to see what is cool though? You want to see something really cool? Metal. Look at this. See this? People are like, what are those pills in there? No, they're not. And I can't even open it now. I was here. Look at this. These are metal. These
actual
are
metal.
1/6 scale glasses.
Are they for George Romero's Hot Toy figure?
No.
Well, then
they're actually for Bruce Banner. My Bruce Banner Hot Toy.
Okay. All right.
But they're metal.
I guess.
And they're 6 scale. Come on.
Phil, did you watch Mortal Kombat yet?
Yes, I've seen it.
What'd you think?
It was okay. I kind of wish the fight scenes were a little bit longer. They were like poorly edited and like barely 2-3 minutes long.
Really?
Exactly. The gore's pretty cool though.
Yeah, but it's all CG. It's all CG gore though.
Yeah.
It's not practical gore.
I think the editor and Rob wouldn't care for it.
I don't like CG gore, blood. I really don't.
I know, and we had some in Hills.
Sorry, yeah, there was a lot of it. I mean, it's Mortal Kombat, so what do you expect? I mean, it's not Godfather, so
it definitely does make it feel like the video game, I guess.
Yeah.
But my confusion is this movie was like a $50 million budget or something like that, and it's like, why wasn't someone like Scott Adkins in it? Why wasn't
there's no big name stars, definitely no.
Why wasn't Tony Jai in it? Why wasn't the guy from the Raid or any of the guys from the Raid in it? Why wasn't Chow Yun-fat Raiden?
Yeah, and you could tell it was a first-time director too.
Oh boy, you could tell that. And that's the thing that just bothered me. It was like,
come on now, we should be supportive of our new filmmakers, new emerging filmmakers. Come on now.
You haven't seen the movie yet.
I have not. I did watch the first 7 minutes. I like that. I did like those first 7 minutes.
The opening is awesome. I'll give it that much.
It's probably the best part of the movie.
And the ending too.
I mean, the cover, it was a little basic in terms of its coverage, but hey, you got to give it up. I mean, I like that a first-time filmmaker was able to pull something like that off. That's cool.
I would probably give it a 6. I would rate it. I'd probably give it a 6.
Mine's like 4 and a half.
Might be too generous, right?
Yeah.
6.
But
it's doing well at the box office.
That's good.
I mean, 9 million, and then the anime movie that came out made more even.
That's a good thing.
Right.
As long as the box office is good, that's all that matters.
I saw Ash said maybe Scott Adkins will be Johnny Cage in the sequel. That would be a great idea. That would be really fucking cool. Look, just get Scott Adkins in there. That would be awesome. If you're looking for a really cool Scott Adkins movie that's a little different, but like really good action, it's called Avengement, and I believe it's on Netflix.
Avengement, huh?
Avengement. Not the most original title. I'm sure it probably wasn't the original title. Pretty cool Scott Adkins movie, I got to say.
Well, there you go. So Black Phillip, how are things going for you down in Texas in terms of opening up? What are things like as far as the world goes? Can you go to bars? Can you go to restaurants? What's going on in Texas?
Oh yeah, everything's like I told you in that super chat a while back. Everything's 100%, but people are still wearing their mask.
Yeah.
So I mean, nothing's really changed.
But honestly, that's good, though, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing. I mean, it's Texas. I mean, you don't tell us what to do, so they go,
don't mess with Texas.
We still want to wear a mask. We wear our mask. It's about protecting each other and our families. So
yeah.
Well,
did I tell you? Have you heard my story about when I was in the art department on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3?
Yes. Not shot in Texas.
About finding the bumper stickers.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, but you can tell again.
No, it's okay. I won't tell again.
That wasn't the most metal part of working on that show, though.
No, but it was my first day.
What was the most metal part? Was it riding with R.A. Mihailov? Can you tell that story? Tell that story, and I'll be right back because I need to refresh.
What do you mean riding with him? I
thought you drove him somewhere.
I thought
there was a
that.
crazy car ride.
No. I didn't have. No, that wasn't me. Not me.
Oh.
I don't think. I'll tell you. I do have a great story about Leatherface though that I will tell.
Great. I'll be back. Sorry, guys. I'm refreshing a drink. I'll be back.
So I've told this story before, but as people know, the very first movie I ever worked on was Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, which was the one with Viggo Mortensen, Ken Foray, Kate Hodge, and it was the first movie I worked on. I was 22 years old. It was like the greatest thing ever. And one of the things, the whole movie was built, it was shot on sets that we built. There was no sound stages. So one of the sets we built we were all in Valencia, and that's where Magic Mountain is with all the roller coasters. So behind Magic Mountain, up in the hills with a lot of brush, there we built the farmhouse because there was a tree and everything. And part of my job as the art department, I had to go bring like water and supplies to all the various like guards who were guarding the sets and security. So I drive up there one day, and it's the middle of the summer, so it's it's 110 degrees or whatever. Oof. And suddenly, out of nowhere, a brush fire happened. So we're where the farmhouse was. It was open. It was dirt, but all around us was brush, and it was all on fire. And me and the security guard are like, "What the fuck are we gonna do? Like, I can't leave. Like, we can't drive through because it's all on fire." And there was a natural break because there's a road, but it's hot as a tinderbox, and the set we built is all wood. And I'm like, there's no way this farmhouse set is gonna burn down on my watch. And all I had were like big 2 containers of water, like big, like you'd put in a, and that's all I had. And there's no hose or anything. And so I gave one to the security guy. I'm like, this is all the water we have. We are gonna not let the farmhouse burn down. And I was all ready to, climb up on the roof, which I was doing. Like we're going there, and because there was a big tree by the farmhouse, and if that caught on fire, we were fucked. And and what was amazing was the fire was getting really big, And then suddenly, out of nowhere, these like you hear the sound of choppers, like Apocalypse Now, dun 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 dun, and these Hueys come in, and like one after the other, and just strafe the entire, because there's a whole amusement park full of people, so they weren't fucking around. They just strafe the whole burning bush, and all of it was put out. All of it was put out. And I'm like, this is fucking Hollywood, man. I didn't say it at the time, but it was fucking metal. Having this huge fire, like it's going to burn down your set, and it's just me and the security guard, and we both have 2 big containers of water, and that was it. But we were ready to stand that fire down, look it straight in the eye, and stop it from burning our set down.
Hell yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah,
I'm pretty glad that Leatherface has finally like started to get the love and appreciation by the fans. It's only taken like 25 years or so.
Right.
I've always loved those movies. Even part
32,
2.
Dave. 32.
32 years.
I mean, actually 31 because it came out in 1990, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I like them all, even the remake.
The remake is great. I think the one that was called Texas Chainsaw that was in 3D, I think is pretty dog shit.
I agree with you.
the prequel that was made by the guys who did Inside, interesting.
Glorious hell.
Yeah, well, of course, from those guys. But the return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with McConaughey and Renee Zellweger is just like, I don't even know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck that movie is. It's just so terrible.
Bonkers, man.
It's just not good in my opinion. And the thing is this: I remember getting called to cut the trailer for that movie at first, and I went to a screening of it on the Disney lot. Stuart Gordon had offices, so he set up a screening of Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation is what it finally came out as, way before it came out. So I'm going to the theater to like watch it before I cut this trailer because I hadn't seen the movie yet. I was like, okay, well, this will give me an idea. And I remember sitting there, and I just remember looking behind me, and sitting behind me was Cole Hauser and Matthew McConaughey, and I was just like, oh, those are the 2 dudes from Dazed and Confused. That's fucking awesome. And
all right.
And they were fucking howling during the movie. They were having such a good time that it made the experience of watching the movie way more fun.
Oh, that's cool.
But again, I get, cool. The thing is, it's like I should have worked on Leatherface Chainsaw 3 because of, it was like right after. It's like, I met Jeff Burr, and my first movie that I ever worked on was with Jeff. Met Scow, R.A., all these people. It was really crazy. And I was actually, when I was going to college, I was at the infamous Burbank screening of Leatherface before the shit all went down with it, before it got like cut, 11 times to get an R rating and everything else. I was at that. They talk about it on the Blu-ray and everything else.
I thought they released it unrated.
No, what's released now is not unrated.
Yeah, no. It's not.
The unrated cut has never been conformed and finished in any way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is too bad. I mean, that would have been.
There's not much left. There's not much that you're missing out of what's on the Blu-ray now, though. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have a screen version anyway. So yeah.
Yeah.
Echo Base Network sends in a super chat. By the way, I stream with Nick. Nick and I thought had a really, Nick, I don't know if you thought so. I thought we had a great show. I really liked talking Star Wars. I mean, I was getting into it. I'm sure some people were like, man, fuck that guy. He doesn't like Return of the Jedi. But we had I thought a really great, it's exactly why I like to be on YouTube. I thought we had a really great conversation. I thought we had a great stream about Star Wars. I really like being on your show today. Thank you for having me. It was great. Nick says, cool. Hail R&B and guests, another great live show of Midnight Metal. Thanks again to Rob for filling in as guest host tonight on our show. Anytime, man. I had a really good time. I really liked talking with you. I thought it was very worthwhile, so thank you for that. Nay Nay sends in a super chat and says, "Heard of Blade of the Immortal 2017? Takashi Miike. Come on,
yeah.
based off a
man.
manga.
So fucking
I
great.
gotta watch that. I watch anything Takashi Miike.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of his, and
It's great.
Yeah,
Ichi the Killer,
dude. Ichi,
my
you know what?
favorite.
I love Ichi. I have an Ichi the Killer action figure. Can you see him? Oh, you can't. He's right
No
up there.
surprise.
He is right
No
up there.
surprise.
But you know,
You're right.
he made a movie that not a lot of people talk about that I love called Fudo.
Oh yeah.
This is about like teenage gangsters. I mean, there's girls in they shoot things out of their hoo-has and kill people. It's the best thing ever. I love Fudo. It's so good.
Sounds like my kind of movie.
Oh,
I mean, who doesn't want to be Takashi Miike just in the sense he does like 7 movies a fucking year? I mean, Jesus.
I know.
And it's like, but they got it right over there. It's like, crank out the movies, just keep working them and stuff like that. Everyone's not going to be a hit. You don't have to worry about that. But you're going to hit 1 or 2 out of the park a year, and you're going to get something like Blade the Immortal.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Well, the thing also is the economics are different. Now, I mean, what's so unfortunate is when we grew up, guys like John Carpenter were making movies like The Fog. I mean, Escape from New York was like $4 million.
Yeah.
So it was Terminator, and they get released theatrically, and people would go, and they were movies that made tons of money.
That was something. We have to. Yeah, that's true. Also, guys, because I'm a total fog nerd, it was April 21st this week.
I know, and somebody made me do the John Houseman's narration.
Wait, you do that?
No, they wrote in that narration. One last story,
just to keep us warm.
By the way, I don't know who decided to do that. I don't know if that was scripted or they did that afterwards. That's one of my favorite openings in a movie ever. I love The Fog. I love it.
Fog's great.
I do too. I do too, and I love it more and more every time I see it. And the thing is like that opening it's so economical because it's effective, and the thing is this: it's exactly what the movie is. It's just a great ghost story told in 5 minutes, setting up all the backstory and exposition. You don't even have to deal with it anymore after that.
No, and it's got I love, like, Carpenter did the music, but there's some really interesting, like that. It's kind of like a
score.
Yeah, it's got this boom, 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 like that weird sound with that weird noise. It's a great. It's when the fog is coming in, but it's electronic, but it's so interesting and unique. And also
tension, creates good tension.
And also there's like this very melancholy, sad theme, like the beach theme. That's the score is great.
Yeah, fantastic.
I believe the track. I believe the track you were talking about is called "Real 9" on the soundtrack.
Oh well, there you go, Dave. you fog nerd. You fog nerd.
I almost did that in a Schweiger voice, but I was like, no. But I'm a total fog nerd, and you know what? I don't know who. It's not Swag Props. No offense if they're if Swag Props is watching, and if not, they watched last night and they said they were working on some Sutter Kane shit from In the Mouth of Madness, which is cool. But someone on Etsy does make replicas of the Elizabeth Dane. The piece of wood and also 6 Must Die.
Oh yeah, I'd buy that.
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
This is KAB Antonio Bay. Love that. I mean, and thank God, with Studio Canal, their first 4K releases were the 4 Carpenter films. They put out gorgeous. The Fog, Escape from New York, They Live, and Prince of Darkness. And
I should have got that. I should have got that.
You should. What, you didn't? What kind of Black Phillip are you? You are not living deliciously. You are not living deliciously, Black Phillip.
Oh.
Dude, but here's the thing. You go on Amazon.
Live in Prince of Darkness, though.
But here's the thing. You go on Amazon and you can get a 4-pack. It's not going to have all the extras, the Blu-ray extras, but you can get a 4-pack for $50 on Amazon of those 4K releases.
Right.
And it's awesome.
Why not?
And it's worth it. It's worth every penny.
Yeah, no, they're great. Dieter Bastian I love Dieter. I'm streaming with Dieter in 11 hours or 10 hours. Dieter says, Dave, I totally agree. And by the way, Dieter is the biggest Scott Adkins fan in the world. Dieter says, Dave, I totally agree. Avengement is in my Adkins top 3. Tried to get the German media book for Raw, but sold out. Movie was censored in Germany for 18.
Damn.
What up?
Come on, dude.
Wow, that's a bummer. Kenneth 83DK sends in a super chat and says, I missed last week's Midnight Metal. Why? So I made it a point. I made it a point to get up early this time. Question: which do you guys prefer, psychological horror or traditional gore? What do you think?
Depends on my mood. Depends on my mood.
Yeah, I'm with Black Phillip. It really depends on my mood. Sometimes I just want the gore. Sometimes I just give me Peter Jackson's Dead Alive or Brain Dead, as it is originally known as. Then it's like, but Silence of the Lambs is on.
Yeah, I'll throw on 7. I'll throw on 7.
Yeah. Zodiac.
Zodiac's awesome. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, I like, as Dave used to. Dave would yell at me and talk about, why are you always talking about philosophy? I mean, I like horror that has, well, like they said in Videodrome is dangerous because it has a philosophy. I like my horror twisted and heady. I mean, to me, like, that's why I love Hellraiser. To me, Hellraiser is, it has a psychological component in that it's all about basically craven human desires and wants and needs and things, and then the fact that hell is perfectly willing to serve you up. You know what? If you open the lament configuration, we will give you what you want. We're going to tear your soul apart, but you have to summon us. I love that.
Talk about metal. Hellraiser. Yeah. I mean, I saw it in 1987 when it came out on video because I was too young to go to the theater to see it, and you know what? Stephen King was right. I had seen The Future of Horror, and its name was Clive Barker, and I had never seen anything like it. I knew nothing about the S&M culture, bondage, or any of that, and it was like seeing one of the first true original concepts that I had ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I didn't know I was a power bottom until I saw Hellraiser.
Oh Lord!
Just kidding.
You seem more like if you were going to be a Cenobite, Rob, you just seem like you were going to be a butterball.
Come on, man. I would be CD head. I'd be CD head.
Oh, you're going to pick CD head? I mean, I'd at least be like, I'm going to be Chatter or something like that.
Chatter was cool. No, I would be the chick.
CD head.
I would live out my life in my whatever fantasies I have about being a woman. I'd want to be that hot, sexy, bald Cenobite.
Come on, man. We all know it's Butterball.
I am not Butterball.
He's got the sunglasses. He's cool.
Why do you have to say that? Why do you have to call me Butterball? Why do I have to be Butterball? Well, I'm like Steve Buscemi in Reservoir Dogs. Why do I got to be Mr. Pink? You know, why do I got to be Butterball?
Because your fucking name is Butterball. That's it. You ain't me. I ain't Mr. Pink. Someone else is Mr. Pink. You're Mr. Butterball. That's it.
Why do I have to be Butterball? You know what? Someone's now going to do like fan art of me as Butterball.
I'm going to
Butterball Cenobite. Come on, man. Why do I have to be Butterball? I want to be CD guy from Hellraiser 3. Hell on Earth.
Let's put it out there to other people and Black Phillip. If Rob is going to be a Cenobite, who's he going to be, guys?
Oh, I can't see Butterball to Rob. Come on.
Fuck yeah. Don't you dare, Black Phillip. You're banned from the channel forever. You're never coming back.
No, I just came back.
Butterball. Come on, man.
No, and no banning. There's no banning. You guys can just say it.
Why do I have to be the butt of everyone's jokes? People are going to be like, oh, Butterball. Haha. They're going to call me that forever. Although I will say this. I will put out a challenge. If somebody does a really great piece of art of me as the Butterball Cenobite as a PNG file, I will turn it into merch and put it in the store.
All right.
I will wear that shirt. I will wear it as a badge of honor if it's good enough, if the artwork is good enough.
Hey, yeah. I'm gonna make it better for you, Rob, because at least you aren't the guy who went and pitched the first. You can all believe it or not. I was the first guy to pitch Hellraiser versus Halloween. Halloween. I pitched it to Dimension Pictures.
By the way, your pitch, you told me that. That was a great pitch.
That sounds awesome.
But I've been demonized for even doing something so blasphemous as that. So it's like, guys, that's worse than Rob being Butterball.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I like that.
Sounds good to me.
So, but this is a good question, Kenneth 83 DK. Look what we've done. You've sent us up. Great, all because of Kenneth 83 DK. This is what happens in my life. Now I'm Butterball. Now people are going to draw pictures of me as the Butterball Cenobite. It's going to happen. It's going to happen all because
I'm glad I could give that gift to you, Rob.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Dave. Thanks very much.
You know what? Butterball is metal.
Butterball is kind of
everything
metal.
about Hellraiser is metal. Come on,
Everything is.
no matter who you are.
I will.
You're gonna be Dr. Chenard and have a big penis fucking sticking out of your head. I mean, come on.
I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be Dr. Chenard. Yeah, I know. Although it was kind of cool, when he was being carried around.
I hesitated.
You know what? Hellbound is one of the best horror sequels ever made, I think.
I love it. I love it too. And that's the thing. And Pete Atkins is a friend of both of ours, and great writer. And the thing that if anyone out there, as we're making fun of Hellraiser in a lot of ways and stuff like that, just so you know, for those that don't know, Peter Atkins, who was the screenwriter of Hellraiser 2, 3, and 4, Bloodline, which is when Hellraiser started to go like totally fucking off the rails.
Although I have to say, I love
the original script
screenplay.
is amazing.
Oh
the original
my God.
screenplay of that was really fantastic.
It was
still an anthology, still with like different time periods, but it was so much better than the movie, guys.
Yeah, the movie was
just letting you know.
That was a crushing disappointment. Was it did Kevin Yeager direct that?
Kevin Yeager was the director, and then he
moved his name though, right?
And then Joe Chappelle, who directed Halloween 6 and Phantoms, bro. You were great in Phantoms, bro.
Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
You were the bomb in Phantoms.
You're bomb in Phantoms. He came in and directed the reshoots of that. So, yeah.
My friend Terje, as I say, my favorite Norwegian. Goddamn 10 in the morning and you have me in a mental party mode.
No, metal party mode.
No, he says mental. He might have wanted to say metal, but he says mental party mode. Meyer. He's going to a kid's birthday. That's not very metal, but okay. Richard K sends in a super chat and says, I love the original A-Team series. The movie was an insult to the show and was not good. Could we get a movie with the original cast? I know George Papard.
The fucking Carnahan movie is really great.
I like it too, and I really like the director. I really like the
Carnahan
director.
is fucking awesome.
Joe Carnahan's a cool dude.
I didn't expect anything from the movie.
18 movies metal.
Come on, dude. And Brandon Valenzuela says, check this out. Brandon, first of all, I would ask you before I read this. Come on, man. Brandon says, I don't know if this has been talked about yet, but Basic Instinct has been remastered in 4K and will return to theaters for a limited time. Can't wait. Dude, I ordered both the Steelbook and the regular special edition from Zavvi just to have it.
Me too. Today I ordered it.
Along
with the Schneider cut.
Yep. By the way, I got a shipping notice from Arrow. My fucking 4K Battle Royale box is coming.
Super metal. Super metal.
Still need to order it.
Battle Royale is fucking metal as fuck.
And guess what? Here's a tip for everyone. Okay, so
just the tip, Dave?
It's just a tip. I'm just giving you guys just a tip right now.
Okay.
Maybe later you'll get more, but right now, the metal tip of the night is Arrow has a streaming service called Arrow-Player. It's on Roku. You can find it on your other streaming things. They're giving a special away. You can get 3 months for $3 a month, and it's got it's got their extras. It's got their documentaries that are hour long and shit like that. It's fucking great. Speaking of Battle Royale,
dude, I'm a huge fan of Arrow. Zavvi bought Arrow.
Oh,
Zavi
wow.
purchased
really?
Arrow.
Wow.
Yeah, the last
I didn't
week.
know that.
Yeah, Zavi bought
Didn't know
Arrow.
that either.
Like Zavi's this weird. Like they just announced they're releasing 4K steelbooks of the X-Men movies, and of course Dave Parker and I. You know, it's pretty fucking metal. Dave Parker and I did the special features for X-Men and X-Men 2, X2.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that.
We that was pretty fucking metal, dude. We did a lot of great stuff
That's
there.
pretty metal.
And they're putting them out as 4K discs. So, looking forward to that.
Do you know what else they just announced? Second
Aaron?
Sight. Second Sight.
What did they announce?
What
Where's
is it?
Martin?
4K of Martin. They announced it.
Oh, they finally announced. When I knew it was coming, but when? When is it?
They didn't have a date yet, but they announced that they are doing a 4K of Martin.
Which I can't wait.
I can't wait. It's so great.
There
I'm
goes
going
my
to jump
bank
ahead.
account. There goes my bank account.
Someone in the chat who didn't do a super chat, but I don't care because I'm paying attention. They go, "You guys didn't talk about the Kiss biopic and the Ramones one."
We
that
talked
have
about the
been
Ramones biopic. I
We
think.
did, maybe you did it last night, but
Yes, I was going to ask you about that. The Kiss biopic was announced. What do you think, Dave?
Well, it was a dream project of mine for a long time, and I wish I had been more successful so I could have actually done it.
Simmons. Is he going to pay himself?
Here's the thing, back in the day when I wanted to do it, Rob, you're going to have to help me with this guy's name. I knew the actor to play Gene Simmons, and it's the guy who was in May. He was also in Hideaway. He played Vizago. He was. Can you look it up? Because I can't remember his name.
Yep.
He's a really cool actor. He would have been like 10, 15 years ago who I would have casted Gene Simmons. Very popular. He's on a show.
Not Kevin Gage. That wouldn't be it.
No.
And Vizago, he
In
was
Hideaway.
Okay.
Really, that great Dean Koontz movie, guys, Hideaway. I mean, come on.
It's I'm
I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
Let's see. Let's go to Hideaway. Let's see what he's. Jeremy Sisto.
Jeremy Sisto would have been my pick to be
Wow.
Gene Simmons.
All right.
Now,
Interesting.
here's the thing.
He's old now.
Well, yeah, now it doesn't work. I'm sure they're going to go with more unknowns. If it's going to be a Netflix thing, they're going to spend a certain amount of money, but they're going to young up and coming actors. They're not going to again. I'm wondering. See, that was my problem with The Dirt is that the guys were just too young. You couldn't age them for all the amount of time that they needed to. So
I didn't care for The Dirt. It was okay. But,
I love the movie, but again, as far as them actually aging appropriately, it's not. But
no.
Someone's doing the Kiss biopic now. Now I have to wait until I can get to do the Alice Cooper one. That's what I think. But and the Ramones one, I'm excited for. I don't know if I'm in love with the casting yet or not. I mean, Pete Davidson. I don't know. He's
I heard that.
He's a really good actor, and I actually really like The King of Staten Island, and I was surprised because I actually on SNL I kind of find him kind of grating. I'm like, I don't get what the appeal of Pete Davidson is.
Excuse me.
He's either going to be really absolutely fantastic, or it's going to be horrible. And it's a shame too, because I know there was for a long time, Martin Scorsese wanted to do a Ramones biopic.
That's right. I remember hearing that.
And that would have been really awesome.
It would have been awesome. But what are you going to do? What can you do?
Yeah. So, but look, I'm hopeful. I want the Kiss one to be great. I want it to be. I probably would want it to be more Rocket Man than I would Bohemian Rhapsody.
I liked Rocket Man. It wasn't bad.
Because it was a combo. It was a little bit of a fantasy and a combo.
Yeah. I mean, I think with Kiss, you have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole, the very idea of what they are, I would love to see interesting fantasy sequences with those characters expanded upon. Like, what are they?
Yeah, I mean, look, the best Kiss movie right now is Kiss meets Scooby Doo. So it's not Phantom of the Park, guys. I know. I'm sorry, but and I love that. Yeah.
Listen. So Brandon, yes, we know about the Basic Instinct, but you're right, we didn't talk about those things. So thank you for that. Darren Barnes says, "Hi Rob, wow, some serious acting and story in For All Mankind. This show needs more publicity. It touches on race, mental health issues, and sexism, amongst others. Love every freaking minute of it." Darren, I have to say, I know this is maybe not as metal. Well, it is metal because it's about spaceships and the moon and all that, which is fucking metal. The last episode of, I think it's called Gray, or the final episode of season 2 of For All Mankind is one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen. Now, it only works if you've watched the show, but it took all these plot threads. It was one of the most tense. The way it cross-cut between all these different stories, dude, I almost had a heart attack. I was like, I literally, the emotions that went through me in that episode, I can't believe television was able to do what that episode did. It was unbelievable. And it has the best final shot I've ever seen. In all of television history, it has the best single shot of all time. The last shot of that episode is the best because the show jumps ahead. The first season was in 73. The second season was in 83. This season, in the final shot, went from 83 to 1995. And it tells the alternate... For All Mankind tells an alternate future story of us if we didn't pull out, if we didn't stop, if we went forward into space. And it's an amazing show. But that final episode, man, I fucking thought I was going to have a heart attack numerous times. It was unbelievable. And then I actually cried. I teared up. So, Richard K sends in a super chat. Richard, you are fucking metal. Are you looking forward, you guys? Are you looking forward to the Pattinson Batman? And in the sequel, could you see us getting villains that we haven't been seeing on the big screen before, like Clayface, Man-Bat, Mad Hatter, or Professor Pig?
I hope so.
Professor Pig. Well, I don't know if we'll ever... But what do you think?
I hope so.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Reeves is a good director. Great director.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's the thing. It's tough because everyone wants, the 4 or 5, we got to have Catwoman. We got to have, the Joker. Yeah. We got to have the Penguin. I'm interested in seeing his new interpretation of, the Penguin because we haven't seen that character in a movie for a long time. But are you kidding? I'd love to see Man-Bat. I'd love to see Clayface, especially if they did Clayface like they did it in the animated series, where he could shapeshift, and that would be really amazing.
Yeah, a lot of CGI though.
Well, yeah, but that's fine. Because Matt Reeves does CGI great. It's like I have no problem with that when it's done that well. But what would be the Batman villain in the Rogues Gallery that you haven't seen? That you would that it might be like a really off kilter one that you would like to see that would be kind of cool that hasn't been done before.
God, I mean, that's a tough one. I don't know. I mean, look, I really, this is totally off base, but I really want to see Ben Affleck's Terminator, Batman Deathstroke movie. I mean, Ben Affleck was going to do the making Deathstroke the Terminator, who's a villain in the Arkham games, bringing him into, and he was a Teen Titans villain. He was introduced to Teen Titans. Slade Wilson versus Batman is something I would love to see. Love to see. Okay. It. And I'm hoping, like, if people talk about, we'll continue the Snyderverse. Look, they are. I mean, we've got Aquaman, Wonder Woman. I would love to see. What's that?
Kind of are, really.
Well, yeah, they've already done it. Snyder. I mean, they've been extending. We might not get Zack Snyder's Justice League and the story of Darkseid and all that, but certainly his versions of the characters have continued. I would love to see Ben Affleck direct, because I like his, I mean, he's made 4 films. You know,
Yeah.
Gone Baby Gone, the
great.
Town,
Argo.
Argo, and Live by Night. While Live by Night didn't make a lot of money, I liked it a lot. It's not great, but it's a very handsome movie. It's it's a period piece. I really liked it. He's a world-class director. I would love to see him tackle and do that Batman script. I hope they do it.
Yeah.
Whether it's for
But
HBO
again,
Max.
I hope so too.
I'm
Deserves it.
gonna press you here. In this, in this Matt Reeves series, like, but any series, forget the Ben Affleck. Like, but like, if he's doing a 3-film arc, and forget what it is, but if you had a Batman villain that hasn't been in yet, ever in any of them, what one would you pick? Do you have one out of the Rogues Gallery?
I don't know.
Me neither.
I mean, I can't.
Oh, I do. I've got one.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Spill it.
Well, but they did the movie.
Matt, it's an animated movie. I want to see Phantasm living. I think that would be really cool.
Look, I think that's a good idea. Cool. Like, why not? You know, I obviously I can't argue with that. I think that's good.
Basic Mr. Freeze.
Look, I still, until Nolan's films, Mask of the Phantasm was the best Batman movie that had been made.
Yeah, I mean, but somebody like, I don't know, like Hugo Strange is somebody like that. There's not a lot of the Court of Owls, the Mad Hatter, Solomon Grundy.
The Court of Owls thing I would like to see. That's actually that's pretty interesting in the comic books and visually interesting too.
I mean, and you mentioned Professor Pig. Like, I don't know how you do that, and like, how do you? It's the world the thing with Batman movies is I think that the milieu defines what kind of a villain you can have. Like Christopher Nolan went realistic. Like, I'm gonna go shoot. Tim Burton had his Anton Furst designed Gotham, which was so nothing in his vision of Batman was going to be realistic. Whereas Christopher Nolan, because he was shooting on real city streets, he wanted everything to feel believable. But that's a very different Bat philosophy. So the villains have to fit what the milieu is, what kind of a Batman movie you're making.
That's kind of cool because, but with the Nolan movies, cool. I could have seen Court of Owls could have fit into that.
Yeah, yes, I like that idea. I think it's good. So I think it's Richard. It's an interesting question you ask.
But the thing is, you know what, guys? You know what I really want to see? I want to see a Batman Beyond live action movie.
I do too. I love Batman Beyond.
I love that animated series.
I can't wait to get my hot toy of the Arkham Batman Beyond figure.
You got that?
Well, it hasn't come out yet. Not here in America.
But you ordered it?
Come on, dude. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm setting up with my Terminator figure. They're going to be fighting.
I only have one hot toy, and it's because of Rob, and he gave it to me.
I can't afford them.
The only other one I'd ever want is Batman Beyond.
Oh, well, by the way, come on, you can't not tell the crowd at home what hot toy I gave you.
Oh, he gave me The Crow, which is my favorite movie. And it's the most amazing figure. And it's the only hot, but it's like they shrunk Brandon Lee down into, it's amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. I would never part with that thing.
Richard K says, again, he asked the Batman question. He says, with a lot of biopics coming out now, like Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man, and now the Kiss one being announced, could we get a Meatloaf biopic? He is my favorite artist. You know what? How about this? Meatloaf starring Jack Black.
Ooh. It'd be great. They did do a Meatloaf biopic, though. VH1 did years and years ago.
The unauthorized.
It's not good, but they did one. The funny thing is, I just I read his autobiography a long time ago. I don't know. I mean, he's if you did Meatloaf like a Rocky story because he's such an underdog, I could see that working. But that could be. I mean, look, anyone who's got great music, I think, could make a great biopic. I think you could find, there's always there's
Thank
that
you, Jason King.
Hidden controversy and shit like that you would never think would be with certain artists. So I think Jack Black is it's obvious but inspired casting.
Yeah.
Good work. We can see it.
El Necron, this is a good one. I'd love to get your take on this, you guys. What are your thoughts on the Lords of Chaos movie? I thought the live music scenes and cinematography were excellent. So for those of you who don't know, Lords of Chaos was a movie about the Norwegian black metal scene. And it's interesting. What do you guys think? Have you seen it? What do you think about it?
I have seen it. It was I was asked on another podcast to pick what I thought were my favorite metal movies, and Lords of Chaos went onto that list. It's brutal. It's disturbing. It's a very powerful, challenging film. I think I was really enamored with it, but it's not one of those movies that I can watch a lot because it definitely disturbed me.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Oh, wow.
It's really brutal.
I gotta give it a watch.
But it's great, and all the performances are great. And yeah, there's also a great documentary about the same thing. And the book Lords of Chaos is really fantastic too. But yeah, I really like Lords of Chaos, and I'm actually that's on the Arrow channel that I just subscribed to, and I'm looking forward to revisiting it because it's got extras and stuff like that I haven't watched. So yeah, but it's really and I'm not easily disturbed, and that really disturbed me.
It's a very disturbing movie, but it's pretty good. I mean,
I gotta give it a watch.
And it gets bigger and bigger. It gets kind of outlandish. It's like one of these true crime stories. You're like, wait, what, for real?
But Jonas Ackerlund's a really great director.
Yep.
He just really is. So it's like, I'm glad that it finally got made, because they've been talking about trying to make that movie for a very long time, and I think they did it right.
Well, listen, Black Phillip Alvarez, I want to switch you out for somebody else.
Great, not a problem.
Are you okay with that?
Oh, yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right,
awesome,
sir.
Man.
It was good to have you here. So for those of you, if there's anyone else waiting who wants to be on the show, look, man, you have a tough act to follow. If you're going to follow Black Phillip Alvarez. Black Phillip Alvarez, you're fucking metal. You're fucking metal.
So pleasure.
I'm going to
thanks so much for hanging again, man. That was awesome.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah,
really
anytime you want me, I'll be on.
So, you come on. Dave and I are going to make this a regular show Saturday nights for the foreseeable future. So, Black Phillip Alvarez, thank you for being here, and I bid you adieu, and thank you.
Thank you. Later, Dave.
Take care, guys. Later.
So now, anyone who might want to, I will drop the link into the live chat. If you want to be on the show,
can you be more fascinating than us and Black Phillip and
you better
challenge us? Throw down some questions, some hard-hitting shit.
Knowledge. Yes. Richard K goes on to say, Richard K says, I would love a RoboCop versus Terminator movie. Well, they did comic books of that. There are comic books with Arnold and Peter Weller returning. But Peter Weller's like 75 now.
But he did do the voice for RoboCop for Mortal Kombat 11.
I love Peter Weller. You can even call him up on Cameo, and he's on Cameo, and he's a doctor now.
And he directs a lot. He directed a lot of episodes of Sons of Anarchy, and he was in Sons of Anarchy, which is one of my favorite shows ever.
He's 73 years old now. 73. So, Dave.
We got one.
Captain Robert to Rendezvous is here. Captain Robert April. Oh, man. How you doing, sir?
Oh, and he's rocking an AC/DC shirt.
He's rocking an AC/DC shirt.
Fuck,
I'm gonna bring on Captain. Aren't you on the East Coast? Isn't it late for you? Well, I'm going to put you in the show, Robert April. Are you ready to come on? You better be fucking metal. That's all I can say, though. Come on, man. Are you?
Oh,
hang on. You're not. Wow, you have to wait. Wait, turn that off and because you're not in the show yet. Turn it off and do that. Hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gentle beings, kind souls, however you identify across these 28 known galaxies, please welcome Captain Robert April to Midnight Fucking Metal. And he's wearing an AC/DC shirt. Yeah. Are you fucking metal, Captain Robert? Look at that. He's got a lightsaber. He's a Sith Lord.
I've been waiting for you, Obi-Rob. We meet again at last.
Obi-Rob. Oh no. There's more t-shirt artwork. Yeah. By God. Butterball and Obi-Rob. Right? Man, I tell you. Fuck.
All the times I've been yelling at Tom, whenever you show up on Midnight, send me a link. Come on.
Well, now you're on the show, man. You're on Midnight Metal, Robert.
What? Oh, okay. I needed this. All right, fine. At least I have
All right, you got to use the headphones.
There we go. I don't need these.
You do though, because then it'll echo in the live stream.
Is it echoing?
Yeah, because we can hear it.
Yeah, so I do.
Yeah,
I do that. Okay, never mind.
Dude, you're back in black. It's a long way to the top if you want to be Captain Robert April. Let me tell you.
Yes, and because of that.
See what happens.
Oh, we lost him.
We lost him. We'll bring him back.
Fine.
Robert,
he's melting down right now, man. I can tell you.
He is melting down. But you know what? He's gone. Once somebody leaves, we got Catherine joining us.
Fuck
we have our first lady on Midnight. Oh, she's not there though. Oh wait, there she is.
About time.
Catherine, are you ready to become? Are you going to become our first female guest on Midnight Metal? Are you ready? Can you hear us? It's frozen. Come back. Come back, Catherine. Oh, there she is. We got her now. Catherine, can you hear us? I can't hear you. We can't, wait. Now I can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yes, we're going to bring you on. Our first lady will join us on Midnight Metal.
You might have to take a shot for this one.
I'm out of booze, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
What the hell?
I was drinking wine. What can I say? I'm out of booze. I know it's decidedly not. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gentle beings, kind souls, welcome Catherine to the show. The first female guest. Like, my God, it's no longer a sausage fest up in this hizzle. Catherine, welcome to the show. Where are you?
I am in Auburn, California.
Where's that?
Where's Auburn, California?
It's about 35 miles east and northeast of Sacramento.
Oh, all right. Wow. Okay. That's good. So, do you ski? Because you can go up to Tahoe quickly from it.
No, I've tried skiing probably 15 years ago. Haven't been back since.
Oh.
I wasn't very good at it.
That's all right. That's all right. So, we got to ask you, are you fucking metal tonight? Are you metal, Catherine? Are you metal?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty fucking metal tonight, Rob.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, Catherine. That's what I want to know.
I've been watching all your metal streams, and I've been pulling, maybe catching up on all your old shows. So I've been going up to 4 a.m. every night for the last 3 weeks trying to catch up.
That's fucking metal.
That's fucking metal. Now, I have to we got to give you all the props, the mad props in the world, because I noticed there's physical media behind you, including the Bond 50 set. You have the Bond 50 set with a Place for Skyfall. Spectre hadn't come out yet, so it's not in that set. But are those DVDs or CDs or Blu-rays or what's behind you?
So this whole row here are all Blu-rays. I got Criterion Blu-rays here. I got all my 4K steelbooks over there.
Oh, hell yeah!
Steelbook.
And then way over there, I got all my comics.
Whoa!
And all the film reference books on the bottom.
So you are truly an imagination connoisseur par excellence.
For sure.
Well, welcome to our Midnight Metal Show. I'm sorry, Captain Robert April, when you drop out, somebody else who has the link can drop right up, and you can't. There's only 2 people can get in at a time. So you have joined an exclusive, I don't know if we call it a club, but people who are now metal on Midnight Metal. Thank you for being here. So let me ask you, Catherine, when did you know you were an imagination connoisseur?
God, that was probably way back when I was in 2nd grade, probably 25, 27 years ago, because not only did I love reading, I loved writing so much that it got to the point where the teachers were like, you know what? You should read your stories to the class. It was not required of the assignment because I just loved I loved creative writing. I was doing it constantly. And I just, I read, Michael Crichton was probably my favorite author when I was 7 years old. Then I moved on to Thomas Harris, probably by 3rd, 4th grade. I love Thomas Harris. I wish he wrote a lot more. He doesn't. It's sad.
What 5? I think 5 books.
Yeah, it takes his time.
Just about.
Black Sunday, Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and Hannibal Rising.
He's got a new.
Yes.
He's got another one, doesn't he?
Oh, and the new one. He does have a new book out.
He's got a new one.
Yeah.
He has a new book coming out. But I also am very much into film. I'm an editor, sound editor, and sound designer, so that's really fun. But my interests are like all over the place. Like you would find if you went through here one by one, you're gonna find so many different genres. Same with comics. It's like Marvel, DC, if it's horror, psychological thriller, whatever. I got all of it. I love it. And when you were talking about that earlier, when it comes to horror, my favorite type is atmospheric, like stuff like you were talking, like The Fog, or these more modern psychological thrillers, like The Witch, Midsommar. I mean, Midsommar, I didn't really like any of the characters, but I thought that had some good tension in it.
Yeah, no, it did. I agree.
Yeah,
I love The Witch.
Yeah, The Witch. Oh, for sure. Excellent. That was too good to miss. But, I've been waiting for I just got the 4K of from Kino Lorber, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in the mail today.
Oh, have you watched it? How does it look?
I have not, but I discovered I have not watched it yet, but I discovered that it's actually the shorter 2-hour, 42-minute version.
Yeah.
Not the original 8-minute version. And I thought, oh man, that's a little, I'm not sure why they sought that one, but I pre-ordered that one like probably 3 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, I was really looking forward to that. You got it early. It comes out next week, I think.
Yeah, I think it does come out next week.
Did you order it directly from Kino Lorber?
I did.
So they could get to you sooner. Yeah.
Nice.
That's the thing. When I saw that it was a shorter version, I'm like, because I really like that long version.
Yeah, the long version is even the one they show on TV all the time. I don't think I've ever seen the shorter version of it.
No,
at least it's not the short run that was like 2 hours, 24 minutes or whatever, that original American version that they put out, which was just...
Yeah, it's like when they see all those Confederate soldiers when they go to that one, and a lot of that stuff is just missing, and I like it. I like all that extra stuff. Here's one. Richard K. asks, will we see Ian McKellen as Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings show on Amazon? I don't believe so. I don't believe Gandalf is in Middle-earth. The Astari, I don't think he's there in the Second Age. I'm not a Tolkien scholar, but I don't think he's there.
No, I think Gandalf and Sauron and the others were created by the Astari later, specifically because Sauron was still around by the Third Age. That was like his express purpose for being sent back to Middle-earth, and why after he dies at the whole Balrog thing that they send him back again.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think he was around in the Second Age.
I don't think so either. The Second Age is much more of a, like, Sauron is a guy. He's a dude. And he's not the all-seeing eye that he is in Lord of the... I don't even know why they're calling it Lord of the Rings. It's so... I mean, I guess it's the same shit.
Brand it.
I know. I guess it is Sauron. It leads up to the end of the war. The beginning of Fellowship of the Ring is the end of the Second Age. So you're leading up to that battle, and I guess we'll see that battle in the show. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, are you guys excited for the Lord of the Rings TV series?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I don't know what it's about. I don't know the Second Age over this or that. So look. If it looks cool, great. I'll watch it.
I know.
It's like it's kind of that. I'm kind of that surface about it.
Well, the Second Age. I mean, the thing about it is like it's all spoken of, like in the Silmarillion or the appendices, or it's spoken about, and the characters are mentioned and things like that. But there's no dialogue. Like you can't go in and be like there's no book to adapt and here's this character and here's that character. So I think what's the tricky part. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Catherine.
That's the thing I'm nervous about, because it's not going to be Tolkien's words or his language or a specific tone for it. Because all the Silmarillion is, and the other reference books that his son went on to finish for him, are like history books in a way.
Right. And so the characters they're not real characters. You're reading history, and they're not defined. And it's
so obviously this is very loosely based on that stuff, or just using that stuff as a jumping off point to because it's like what people are going to be expecting is the Peter Jackson type movie. So they're going to have to deliver on that, or else they're going to fail to deliver on expectations. I would guess it's like, I don't think anyone wants just a historical drama set in that world. I mean, some people would, I'm sure, but I think the fans want the battles and the action and all that type of stuff. Right.
I mean, I guess
especially if they're spending as much money as they are in that first season, I would guess so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing. I hope we don't get a lot of injecting a lot of modern sensibilities in the show. Like whether you want to call it woke or identity politics or anything, it won't work at all. If they do that, the show is going to fail miserably. And they have to. There's got to be a fealty to Tolkien's work, and if there isn't, it's not going to work at all. But I love the director that got to do the first episodes. If he's a great director. I think he did what's the monster movie that he made that I love so much?
Monster Calls.
Yes.
Yeah, J.A. Bayona.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's great.
I loved Monster Calls.
Yeah, no one and the movie didn't do that well.
Yeah, no one saw it.
I remember reading the novel way before it became a movie, and it was really strong. It should have done better, but again, it's a downer of a story. So
no, it is,
but it's amazingly told.
I mean, AJ Bayona, he directed The Orphanage, which I loved, and then he made The Impossible about the tsunami, the Indonesian tsunami.
Which is one of Tom Holland's first films.
Yes, it is. I have to say, when I watched that movie, I was curled up in a ball. I had such agita when I was watching it. I'm like, oh my God, I can't. I loved it. You got
to be careful at your age, Rob. You're watching too many things that are stressing out your heart.
I know. Between For All Mankind and The Impossible. The Impossible is a great movie. I didn't love Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom very much, but he did. It was the script that I wasn't.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, it was like watching Resident Evil with dinosaurs in it. It was kind of cool. The mansion stuff with the dinosaurs is fucking awesome.
It was awesome. It was just all over the place.
All that stuff in the mansion, that was kind of cool.
It was like, thank God they took it off the island finally. It's like, let's finally give it someplace new to go.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm with you 100%. With you 100%. So, Catherine, of the stuff that's coming out this year, are you looking forward to Dune or No Time to Die? Or are you a Marvel movie fan? What are you looking forward to?
No Time to Die. Because that's been over 5 years in the making.
You're looking at the Bond. I can't believe there's a Bond movie that's finished that we haven't seen. I mean, it was supposed to come out a year ago.
I know, and it's like, on the one hand, it's like, this weight is killing me, but then on the flip side, it's like, isn't that kind of cool to wake up every day knowing that there's going to be a brand new Bond movie coming down the pipeline already finished?
I really hope it's worth all your guys' wait, because I haven't been anticipating it. I'm just like, yeah, I'll go see it when it comes out. Hope it's good. And it'd be like, for the people who have been pining away for this thing, if it's not fucking amazing, you guys are all going to be disappointed. Kind of like you were when you flew all the way to fucking London to watch a movie.
Yeah, but
and you watched it what, twice?
I bought tickets to see it 4 times that day, but I was disenchanted, so I ended up not seeing it 4 times that day. I did not like Skyfall. I mean, look,
that one I was that was doing so many different things that it's like some ideas they start and then they don't follow through on it, and it just kind of falls apart in the third act.
Yeah, it's Bond fails repeatedly throughout that movie.
Yeah, you notice how they tease like in the whole main title sequence, this whole Skyfall Lodge itself just seems like this really dark place. The torrents of blood, the skulls, all this. I'm like, my God, what is this? And how Bond can't even stand the psychiatrist even mentioning the name. And you have that really eerie montage when they're driving up there with the music setting in, and Roger's kind of zooming everything out on his camera while he's moving up there. Bond has to pull over just to work up the courage to go there. It's like, oh my God, what the hell happened here? And the minute he walks in the front door at the lodge, all that ominous stuff goes away, and he's cracking jokes with Albert Finney, and it's like, okay. And the thing with M, that guy was acting beyond his brief. I had to tell him about. I'm like, you've been teasing the whole time that Bond has trust issues with her, that she's like throwing him under the bus. The villain reveals he's throwing him under the bus. Go with that. Like, let her kind of be the villain. Sometimes people like that got to make really tough decisions. Let that be like the focus of your climax. Lean more into that, because what was it, like the first scene of the movie? Bond's upset with her because she wants to leave the agent to die. It's like they plant that in your mind at the very start, and it's like, okay, this is going to be. That's kind of like the thematic direction this is going. He does not trust her anymore. And it's like they're not following through.
No.
And then they're doing the whole Dark Knight type ripoff in the middle of the movie, and how Javier Bardem does this weirdo Joker-esque type laughter, which doesn't seem to fit for the character, because he seemed like he's motivated by revenge. And he has this moment with M, and he's finally got it, and then he just starts cackling like a clown, and instead of a Glasgow smile, they give him the weird like acid melted jaw, and it's like, I see what you're doing, and it's like, it could have been better easily.
But you're telling me you guys are excited for Rami Malek playing Phantom of the Opera in a James Bond movie.
Yeah, that does admittedly feel very weird in the trailer. It's like it does feel
it's just like, I mean, really?
Look, man, I love True Detective Season 1. And Cary Fukunaga directed that. I thought it was great. I'm hoping that this movie will go on. I think that the Daniel Craig era of Bond has absolutely been a failure overall. Loved Casino Royale, and I'm a Quantum of Solace apologist.
You're the one. I don't get that one at all.
But Skyfall and Spectre are like, we never actually got at what I would say is a real James Bond movie out of Daniel Craig. It was it's all this weird interconnected bullshit.
That was the other weird thing when they got to Spectre, because at the end of Skyfall, the last scene of that movie unfolds kind of like the beginning of your average Bond movie. He goes to flirt with Moneypenny, goes into M's office, he gets the mission, and it's like, okay, you're finally done with this pseudo origin story you've dragged out for 3 movies. And in the very next beginning of the next movie, his great relationship with the new M is already soured under the bus. And it's like I don't know. I feel that the franchise too often is worrying too much about we should copy what other franchises are doing.
Well, and that's the thing. I've said that all the time. I said in the 60s, the Bond franchise, when it was new, it was a trend-setting franchise. And then in the 70s, it was aping franchises. You go to like Live and Let Die, it was blaxploitation, and then Man with the Golden Gun is martial arts, because they were big. The Bruce Lee movies were big, blaxploitation movies were big, and then luckily when they decided to do something new, Spy Who Loved Me came out months after Star Wars came out, and it looked like, wow, they really understood the zeitgeist, because they're making this big fantasy epic. They went back to widescreen photography, and then Moonraker was that, and from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, they were always following. They were never trend setting anymore.
Yeah,
And-
it's just, that's why I'm worried with this one, because I feel the franchise is a bit of a swinging pendulum, because Spy Who Loved Me was the last even-numbered Bond film which had universal praise across the board. Like, ever since then, it feels like, okay, we got a good one, and it's almost like they listen to the few negative critics. Never mind what all the good reviews are. Let's just overcorrect to please this. Oh, then we went too far. Let's go back and do that. And it's like going back and forth, back and forth. And so I think we're due for a good one, and I think Daniel came back because he actually, like, he knows Spectre was, I think he really wants to go out on a high note.
Right. That's why I think it's going to be good. I mean, Spectre was so boring. It was so, even the set pieces, the car chase through Italy, there's no other cars. It's nighttime. It's just two cars running after each other. Nothing happens.
You know what? It's fine.
The weird thing about that, the whole movie feels like it's follow the breadcrumb trail, but it doesn't really lead anywhere. It's like, we know Blofeld's the villain. He called the movie Spectre. Big surprise.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's fine. We got our spy series. It's called Mission Impossible. Those deliver. Those get better each time. So it's like, I'm good. Stop trying to make Rami Malek a thing. He was great in Bohemian Rhapsody, but that's about it. I don't understand why people keep trying to make him a thing. It was the same thing with the Avatar guy. It's like he was in every bit. It's like, why? He's got what's he got to offer?
Well, it is a strange thing, but the Bond franchise, these movies are hugely expensive. I mean, they're spending incredible because of Casino Royale, which I loved. I thought Casino Royale was great, good reboot, and even Quantum of Solace. Like I said, I'm an apologist for that movie. It's not great, but it's not awful the way people make it out to be. I don't understand why. But Skyfall, I'm like, what is this? You're aping another franchise. It's The Dark Knight. Javier Bardem. It's also very mean. It's very mean spirited. The Bernice, the woman that he meets, and she says, "Yes, I was abused since I was a girl," and blah blah blah. And Bond goes in and just walks into the shower with her. I'm like, okay, look, you've set this woman up she's already been victimized her whole life, and you're gonna go in there and like have your way with her. Normally I wouldn't care, but I'm like, dude. And then of course when they put the drinks on her head and they kill her, it was so. Misogyny doesn't bother me. But the way that woman dies in Skyfall and the way that the callous disregard for her, I thought that was really, really mean-spirited and way beneath the Bond franchise. It really disturbed me, and I've never felt that way about, look, bring on that misogyny, it's fine. But in that particular movie, I'm like, this is beneath Bond. He would have saved that girl. And she just, nope. She was victimized. She's terrified. Bond, help me. She asks him to help her. And then she just winds up with a drink on her head and we're shooting at you. And then she gets shot.
You know what's even worse about that? Is that once he shoots her, there was nothing stopping Bond from pulling that slick move that he pulled after that. He could have done that and saved her lickety-split. But,
yep. I mean, he lets her die and then the British cavalry come in?
Yeah, we're going to reduce this to a one-liner. Oh, waste of good scotch. I'm like, okay.
That was really horrific. And that to me was one of the great low points of the whole Bond franchise. And that might be one of the reasons I really, really, really don't like Skyfall. The movie makes no sense, and Bond fails repeatedly. From the very beginning of the movie to the very end, he's a failure. James Bond is a failure. And that movie made $1 billion and everyone loves it. And I'm like, this movie is fucking terrible. I hate it.
The weird thing about also the ending of Spectre is that it feels like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. It's like, well, we're not going to kill Blofeld because if Daniel comes back and this is an interconnected thing, then you can't really retroactively say he's the main villain and just throw him away. So we'll keep him around. Oh, but then on the off chance Daniel doesn't come back, we'll have to get the girl and drive off into the sunset and show, hey, look, he's learning to trust people again. Great. Driving off with the DB5. And I'm thinking, okay, so what? You're going to, based on the trailers for the new one, you're going to ruin his trust in them again and just, it's like, I'm thinking they're going to ape what they did with Logan and then with Tony Stark, and I think they're gonna kill him. Because he's retired like 3 separate times in this continuity already, and all 3 times it failed miserably. So I feel that's the direction they're leaning, and I hope I don't know. We'll see. It might work. I don't know.
By the way, Stub McShave sends in a tip and says, I get why they call it Lord of the Rings. Sauron literally is the Lord of the Rings. He is the Lord over the rings. Given that, they should still have a different name for it to avoid confusing the audience. Maybe they could call it LOTR, the Second Age. I mean, true, the Second Age deals with the creation of the Rings of Power, but it's not that story. And I understand it's a branding thing, but it's weird. I mean, I maybe call it the Saga of Middle Earth, the Second Age.
No. Just call it Sauron, the Age of Metal. Just come on. It's like, stop fucking around with things, man.
Let's bring me back. Let's bring
back the metal.
Steppenrob. There I am, Steppenrob. There's the Age of Metal right there. Thank you very much. Richard K. Actually, Stephanie Littlepage and Captain Robert April, you knocked yourself off the channel. We were going to have you on, but now we have Catherine. Maybe if you're still around, I don't know how long we're going to go, but Captain Robert April and Stephanie Littlepage became members of the channel. Thank you both. Richard K says,
very metal.
Yeah, that is fucking metal, man.
Richard remember K, where you are, man.
Fuck yeah. We're getting a little erudite for Midnight Metal. We're not like
I know,
slurry,
this whole
drunky.
Bond thing is not, look, Bond is not metal.
Bond is metal. Fuck you.
Okay, you know what was metal?
Wait,
I'm going to change something to this. My favorite Batman comic, Arkham Asylum, Mysterious House on Serious Earth. Mm-hmm. I loved how trippy the artwork was for that, which I found it really interesting that Grant Morrison didn't like that, because to me, that artwork almost kind of makes the story. It totally puts me in that mindset. I love the whole Dante's Inferno thing that's kind of going on with it. I love how they put a darker spin on virtually everybody in the asylum, and the idea that the asylum and the whole system of it is what causes everybody to be even crazier than they were before. I love it. It's
great. And it is fucking metal, that series.
And you know what? I just read, someone just reminded me, you know what?
I don't know.
Fuck Lord of the Rings. You know the Sauron I want to see? The one from the X-Men. That's what I want to see.
Dude, he's a prehistoric bird.
I want to see the Savage Land. That's what I want to see, because that's fucking metal. That's what I want to see. Give me X-Men in the Savage Land.
Wow, we are jumping all over the place. Well, exactly. Yeah, now isn't Krakoa that no one will ever appreciate just how weird the X-Men got. I love it. But anyway, Richard K. says, with Casino Royale being a prequel, where Bond first gets his 00 number and Judi Dench's M is in it. So does that mean that all the Craig and Brosnan Bonds are prequels? No. Here's the thing. Somebody recently, and I don't remember where this was, it was online, somebody organized the Bond movies in order. And starting with Casino Royale, they put all the 24 Bond films that have already come out, the official Bond films, in order. And you have to watch them and think that it's all the same guy. And even though there's different actors and everything, you got to forget that and assume that M is always the same M. You know, and it was a really interesting list. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're prequels. I mean, I think that it's. I think
it's kind of like when people when George Miller announced he was doing a 4th Mad Max finally, and people kept bugging him. It's like, oh, is it a sequel? Is it a prequel? Is it a spin-off? I was like, dude, it's a Mad Max movie. Just enjoy it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. You know, to me, the Bond movies have never had any continuity anyway. How many people have played Felix Leiter? It doesn't matter. Yeah. You know, it's like, to me, it's James Bond. Okay, so people are Bernard Lee is not M anymore. Somebody else is M. You know, whatever. It doesn't matter.
What I would like to see? I'd like to see George Miller direct a Bond movie. Then that would be metal.
Man,
that would be fucking metal.
Dude, I can't wait to see Furiosa. That shit's going to be lit. It's going to be metal.
He could do Babe 3 and it'd be metal. I don't care. It's George Miller. Just keep doing. I mean, and that's the thing. We have to really appreciate this. We're not going to get a lot more George Miller movies in our lifetime.
What's he like? He's 76 or something now, right?
Something we're going to be very. I mean, he's a doctor, so he knows how to take care of himself and shit like that. But still, it's like every day, every movie is a gift. So it's like the fact that he's giving us not Happy Feet 3 and he's giving us Furiosa is very fucking metal.
It's very fucking metal, and he is 76 years old.
Damn.
76. Look, Ridley Scott has a movie coming out. Let's see. How old is Ridley Scott these days?
How old is the governor, as Charlie de Lazareca refers to him as?
Ridley Scott's 83 years old, and he's making movies.
You know what? Because you know what? That's the thing. Here's the key, guys. Keep working. Don't sit on your laurels. Fucking keep doing, and you'll live to a nice long age. Do what you love, and that will keep you going. Rob is going to be 180 because he's still going to be here talking on this.
I don't know if anyone is going to watch. Well, let me tell you what it was like back in the day, seeing Star Wars for the first time. Richard K says, I want Taron Egerton as the next Bond. He's so young, he could be Bond for the next 20 years. I love Kingsman.
The Kingsman movies are great. I can't wait. Great. That's another one we've been waiting for a year almost.
Yeah, Kingsman. That looks good too. I want to see it. It
looks great.
I want to see it. This is a good one. The Norwegian Kryptonian asks, what do you think is the most metal Pink Floyd song? That's a good question.
I'm waiting.
Ooh.
You're waiting?
I'm waiting to hear what you have to say.
Well, I have to think about that. I mean, what?
Yeah, I know one, and it's going to piss people off because Roger Waters isn't involved, and it's Dogs of War.
Okay. That's off of Delicate Sound. Is that Delicate Sound of Thunder? What's that on?
Or Momentary Lapse of Reason?
Momentary Lapse of Reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
I would think that to me is their most metal.
That's tough because I don't, I love Pink Floyd, but I'm going back. I'm thinking about Animals and Uma Guma and all. Like I've never thought of Pink Floyd as necessarily being metal
because they aren't.
No.
They aren't. But if you're gonna pick one that is, that would be my pick.
Yeah. Okay. I'll grant you that. I mean, I'm thinking of things like it's just they're not metal.
No,
Pink Floyd's not metal. I mean, I'm thinking of so you thought you might like to go to the show.
What was really metal was when Roger Waters performed The Wall at the Berlin Wall with all those guests, and they opened with the Scorpions and had everyone from Cyndi Lauper to Sinead O'Connor to Thomas Dolby to Albert Finney perform at this concert. That was an incredible live show if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it doesn't get more metal than that.
It doesn't get more metal than
I don't know. I'll give it to you. I'm thinking about Pink Floyd. I've never thought of Pink Floyd as being a metal band.
No.
I've always thought of them more as prog rock of anything else, Ash Chauhan, who sent us the graphics and wrote us our letter, said, I didn't like Skyfall at first. I've grown to like it in the years since. After seeing it the first time, I felt the film was a direct result of fans who wanted a traditional Bond film with Q, Moneypenny, gadgets, etc. since the Casino Royale reboot. Yeah, I mean, the movie makes no sense to me. Like, they take Javier Bardem back to London, and he's got all these operatives that can, like, reroute the train system, the London tubes. Like, how do they know where he is? It doesn't make any sense.
There's something else I thought of, too. You remember when Q gives Bond his new gadget? It's like the radar or the GPS locator with the radio with the little antenna sticking out of it, and he's like, Bond's kind of looking at him. He's like, "Is there anything else?" He's like, "Oh, you expecting an exploding pen? Oh, we don't really go in for that anymore." And Sam Mendes said on the interviews that, I kind of wanted that to be a statement of the direction I think the gadget should be going. because he didn't really, I guess, like the idea of that hokey stuff. But in the very next movie, also done by Sam Mendes, he gives him an exploding watch.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But did anyone else feel that Q in these movies was really shoehorned in for the fans and really didn't fit at all?
Oh, I like that. I like the actor, Ben Whishaw.
Ben Whishaw.
I liked his take on Q, but like even in Spectre when he's like out in the field, he looks like some emo college student.
Well, hey, that's the. Yeah. It should have been Rami Malek.
Yeah.
If you want to see Rami Malek as an emo college student, watch Larry Crown starring Tom Hanks.
Norwegian Kryptonian,
not metal.
No, Norwegian Kryptonian became a member of the channel. Thank you, Norwegian Kryptonian. I appreciate that.
Let's move on from Bond. We have to move on from Bond.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. You don't want to? I'll talk Bond all day long. If you want to move on, I know
you will. But Catherine, give it. What's your most metal movie that you own?
God, most metal movie?
Not counting because it's in a steel book.
So yeah. I don't have it on Blu-ray, but a movie that I thought was pretty metal, just because the idea of it was a Vanishing Point.
That's a good. I have that on Blu-ray. That's a good choice.
That's pretty metal.
Vanishing. What a good pull, Catherine. You are a true imagination connoisseur.
That's right. One of the most metal, one of the best cars in movies ever.
Oh my God!
No, and isn't that the one in Death Proof that they're going after to test drive because Zoe Bell has a hard on for Vanishing Point, which was like a really cool little bit of a thing for people.
I love it. I remember when who put out the DVD? There was a great DVD of Vanishing Point. It came in the metal tin. Was that Anchor Bay? They put
probably
out,
yeah. It was the VHS tin. Yes.
Yeah.
Big tin box. Yeah.
I love those. People always
they were stash boxes.
Yeah, I was in a stoner. People like I put my pot in those boxes. I'm like,
that's
okay, I still have my where'd it go? I still have my Wicker Man. That was the last one. They put the wood box,
which is totally a stash box.
It's totally a stash
wood box. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, and I had the Repo Man with the license plate, the metal license plate. That was cool.
Yeah,
I think they did a Hellraiser one.
They did Hellraiser. They did the Beyond.
Yeah, that's right.
They let sleeping corpses lie. Oh, speaking of those. Tombs of the Blind Dead. Severin's doing Tombs of the Blind Dead.
And that disc looks to be unbelievable. They're putting like a CD of music inspired by Tombs of the Blind Dead.
By metal people.
By metal bands.
By metal bands.
They're doing metal bands. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that's the greatest thing ever. I love Tombs of the Blind Dead. Love it. Love it.
Forget Bond. Let's talk about something that I think is metal. The Coffin Joe films.
Those are pretty metal.
They're very metal. Especially that last one.
The recent one?
Yeah, the last Coffin Joe film.
Yeah.
Again, great stuff. If people haven't, search out Coffin Joe. Really, you'll be happy.
You will. Jason666 King sends in a super chat and says, everyone's DMT experiences or shrooms, if not. My only DMT experience was watching Enter the Void twice back to back, because that movie has a huge DMT sequence that lasts for like 20 minutes at the beginning. I'm like, I want to try some of that shit. I've never tried it.
So you did?
No, I've only watched the movie where a character has
you've never
DMT
tried
experience.
DMT?
No, but that movie, watching Enter the Void, I'm like, I want to try that.
It might break you now at your advanced age,
Well, that's okay. What do I have to live for anyway?
Yeah, I haven't done DMT either. Mushrooms, quite a bit. I had some amazing mushroom experiences. One time, I actually thought that time had like reversed back into the 70s. It was because the music, whatever music was playing and stuff like that and everything, but it was pretty wild. It was I remember the first time I did mushrooms was at USC in college, and I took them, and for like an hour nothing was happening, and I was like, all right, well, nothing's happening, I'm gonna go home. And I was staying in apartments across the street, and I was in a friend's tower at USC, and so we leave, and I'm walking home, and I remember hitting the curb to cross the street, and I'm like, the street is glowing. Is that normal? And then going, oh, these have hit, these have kicked in, and then I had a very, very fun fucking night on mushrooms. I actually like mushrooms a lot, but then I did have a very bad experience, mushroom related, where I took a few too many. We mixed them, we ground them up into strawberry daiquiris. So I had a little too much, and to gather my thoughts, I decided to go into a dark room. And that didn't go well. And I remember feeling a little panicky, and I remember walking and feeling like I was literally sinking into the floor as if the floor had been made out of like mud or something like that, until I was like on the floor. That was not good.
Decidedly not metal.
Not metal.
Right. He had a college professor in his 70s, and he taught a magic, witchcraft, and religion class, telling us about the origins of all these things and all the drugs and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, it's Amanita muscaria, guys. I still got it growing at my house in my greenhouse, and I still do it. But make sure you have people you can trust around you for at least 3 days if you're gonna take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have I have several friends who have actually recommended ayahuasca. And I've been afraid of that because I've heard stories from a couple people who were like, "Oh yeah, I fucking lost my mind when I was on it, and it was I went mad for like 8 hours." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do that."
I don't really get into this type of drugs either, but I find that if I turn on the laser lights in this room, the ones that look kind of like a starry nebula, green lasers and all that, this room is actually uniquely, almost perfectly shaped for that. Especially with the all the posters on the wall. If I'm really tired and I turn that on and I start doing that, I'll start lucid dreaming.
Wow,
and it never fails.
I lucid dream a lot. So that I enjoy that part of things a lot. What posters do I'm curious? What posters do you have up in your room?
I got
Bob Marley.
Up there.
Is that
Bob Marley?
Joker
right next to that. I thought that was funny with Marley's expression on his face, looking at the guy like, "What the fuck?" That original Joker poster. I got the Johnny Depp Mad Hatter poster because I looked at that and I like the colors. I'm like, that is really
trippy.
Yeah.
I think she froze.
Oh, did you freeze, Catherine? Did you pull out?
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Well, I'll tell you, we got some more people are, I was going to say, when I was at the Evergreen State College, which is, crunchy, chewy granola, they, at the end of the year, they have what's called Super Saturday, but it's really a party that lasts all weekend. It starts on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and in the woods, I don't know if they still do this, but they used to brew a gigantic vat, like a witch's cauldron of mushroom tea. And I mean, the flames, and they're brewing it, and like literally, there's guys and girls with gigantic things stirring it. And this is kind of a funny story. So there was a girl that I kind of had hooked up with, and I really liked her, but there was things that didn't work out, and she ended up.
But you have to come on, we're talking late. It's it's after 2 a.m. What's kind of hooked up? What does that mean?
Oh no, we were fully involved.
Hooking up. You were hooking up.
Yeah, we were hooking up
only sporadically.
Well, it was like we should have like we were gonna be boyfriend girlfriend, but it didn't. You know, we were fuck buddies. But it was like it didn't work out.
Okay,
but then somehow, because I was in love with somebody else, and it was so she ends up like hooking up with my roommate at the time, who's kind of a douchebag, but he was a really handsome guy. And I'm like, okay, but I remember I'd never done shrooms before ever, and I was just drinking this tea. And I was in the woods, like you're literally in the woods, like there's
Which
no
is the best place to do it.
Yeah, I'm in the woods, and I was leaning against this tree, and I ended up watching them. They didn't even know I was there. I was in their line of sight, and I'm watching them make.
Were you perving on them?
No, I wasn't even. It was just a random.
So Rob is not. You're peeping Tom now. This is the next poster
dude,
people are making.
It was the meadow party where there's hundreds of people around. I'm just leaning against a tree, and it was one of those things you lean over, and I was drinking this mushroom tea, and already things were weird. And I'm looking at them, and I'm like, oh my God, they're making out over there, and I'm watching them like meld into each other. It was very sort of altered states, kind of weird society. You know, it was. I don't think society hadn't come out yet. So it was very altered states, and I'm watching them just like melt together, and then I couldn't see them anymore. And I remember I'm leaning against this tree, and it felt like I was being absorbed by this tree, like I couldn't move. And it was just so, and it was one of these bizarre things where I felt like it was almost like an Evil Dead thing, like the branches had come and, like it felt like my arms were being behind me.
Careful what you say with an Evil Dead moment, because
no, but I mean the trees
you're gonna get penetrated by a vine.
The trees were alive. The trees are alive. It was
with the sound of Rob.
I mean, I wouldn't. If there's trees gonna do, I wouldn't be like, okay, it's cool.
Guys, the next artwork you have to do is called Peeping Rob.
So no, it wasn't like that. Well, Catherine, I'm disconnecting from you because you froze. So. If anybody, somebody is already here. Jimmy, dude. We got Jimmy. Hang on. Before I bring Jimmy on, I'm going to... Catherine, by the way, you are a fantastic guest. Thank you for being here, and you are
Great to meet you.
Metal, Catherine. You are fucking metal, so thank you for that. I'm going to bring... Oh, wait. Yep, I'm going to bring Jimmy on. Jimmy is now in. There you... Jimmy! Good to see you again, man.
Hey, Jimmy was on last night, right?
Yeah. Right? Yep. So I'm bringing you on. Welcome back to Midnight Metal, your second appearance on the show. Let me bring you in because I will put you in. Let me give me a moment here while I adjust you.
You
sound, the dulcet tones of your voice. You sound fantastic.
We need like a metal intro for each new guest that comes on.
I know. I don't have that.
We need the music. We need theme music for them. We got to work on this.
I'm sorry. I have to. The whole theme music thing fucked it all up. So
hey, Mike Conrad, I'm watching you better penetrated with a vine than a humanoid from the deep. Don't knock it till you've tried it.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I love humanoids from the deep.
That's right.
So am I on screen right now?
You are, dude. Jimmy, you are in. You are on screen. I
got some Miller High Life.
Oh yeah, Miller High Life.
Thought I should do some little chuggy chug, if you know what I mean.
We do.
Yeah, but Rob can't chuggy chug because he's drinking Pellegrino.
I am. I don't have any more liquor.
He's fucking weak sauce right now.
Now I'm pretty good at chugging, so if you want to see how fast I can do it.
Oh yeah, are you gonna get metal on us? You're gonna see.
Hold exactly, on, bro.
I'm gonna refill because you know what? It's live, and you know what? I'm gonna refill, guys. You know what? You should too. And then we'll chug. Then
I'm sorry.
Rob can't because Rob can't leave.
I also brought out my guitar because I can play some Tenacious D if that's what you're feeling.
Are you gonna play the metal?
Actually, yeah, I was thinking about it.
Nice.
I don't have any booze anymore. I'm out of booze.
Entertain the masses while I refill.
I'm going to entertain the masses. I think this has been a very wildly entertaining show.
Just do that thing you do.
Oh well, I will. All right then. Tom Jr. Jackson said Catherine is killing it and is being metal to the core, but her movie collection is fucking heavy metal. I was there for that. Catherine did have an impressive collection. I'm sorry her computer froze. But Catherine, you were a great guest. You're welcome back on the show anytime. Mus Hussein sends in a super chat and says, "Hi, Rob. Do you think we'll ever get a Prince biopic, and who do you think should play him? Love the channel, and thanks for keeping it metal." But Mus, we did get a Prince biopic. It came out in 1984. It's called Purple Rain, and it stars his royal badness, Prince. So there we go. Richard K says, thoughts on the horror movie Event Horizon. Event Horizon is fucking metal.
Super metal.
So you know what? The most metal shit is the engine room of the Event Horizon. It does not get more metal than that. What do you think, Jimmy? Have you seen Event Horizon?
I have not.
You
Sadly.
should. It's got a brand new Scream Factory Blu-ray that just came out.
Come on,
Huge
dude.
collector's edition.
How have you not seen Event? You are decidedly not metal. Come on.
And it is.
I'm not metal. Screw this. Done.
There you go.
Wow.
Oh man.
It's pretty good. He's like, oh man, I'm gonna puke now.
Nah,
God damn.
As someone said in the chat, that's the champagne of beers.
By the way, guys, I just want you to know that, if we continue to do this, we will be accepting donations so we can all go to the Betty Ford Clinic after this because of, Rob on Fridays, me on Saturdays.
Yeah, I mean,
Rob is behaving himself tonight.
I am because you gotta temper it, man. I mean,
because you have your show, your physical media show in the morning.
That's right. I can't let Dieter down.
And Dieter demands you be on point.
Yes, he does.
He's a taskmaster.
He is a taskmaster. No, what do you think, Dave? What do you think about it? I like Event Horizon a lot.
I do too. I think it gets a little Hellraiser, a little too much Hellraiser, but I think at the end. But I think it's Paul W.S. Anderson's best movie that he has done.
Yeah.
It's a shame that all the unrated footage has
the
sort
porn
of been
star
lost.
sex orgy.
That he can't recreate that, because I think we would get Paul W.S. Anderson meets Andrew Blake in a sci-fi horror movie. It's one of the coolest sci-fi horror movies. It's actually it's legit a sci-fi horror movie, which we don't get that much. I mean, you have Alien, and then you have the great Galaxy of Terror. And then you have Event Horizon.
Right.
There was a B-rated one. There was a B-rated horror sci-fi. I want to see 2014 called Skyline.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care for those. I don't really consider those horror movies though.
Yeah,
I just think they're sci-fi movies with aliens. That's
clever low budget though. That was a clever use of low budget.
It was done by the guys who did the second Alien versus Predator, because they were visual effects guys. But
and now there's a whole
Quarantine.
And what? Quarantine?
Quarantine's another when the first one came out, it was a B-rated, but it was actually pretty.
Well, here's the thing.
Horror.
Quarantine is not a sci-fi movie, and fuck Quarantine. Go watch Wreck, the Spanish movie.
Yeah.
Go watch Wreck and Wreck 2 back to back, because that's what you need to see. If Quarantine is a beat for beat remake of Wreck, except not as good.
You got to be more respectful to our guests, man. Jimmy is here.
No, it's I'm just letting them know. It's you like Quarantine? Check out Wreck and Wreck 2, and you're gonna really love those so much more.
Yeah,
I thought it was a decent B movie.
Wreck, you're gonna look. Wreck is great though. Wreck and Wreck 2 are great.
I did just fill up a movie I have never seen that apparently everyone's seen. I watched
called
it a couple of days.
Hills Run Red, and it's a talk about a sea movie.
Oh, come on now. Why do you got to be that way?
From Dusk Till Dawn is the one I just watched.
What, you hadn't seen
Wait, that's a B movie, you think?
No. Just not a B movie. I'm just it's another movie I thought I haven't seen, because you guys were surprised I haven't seen Event Horizon. Well, I thought you'd be proud I saw From Dusk Till Dawn.
Proud.
I'm very proud you saw From Dusk Till Dawn.
Tarantino Rodriguez action.
did not see the fucking vampires coming at all. I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now?
I love it. I love it. You didn't know. You didn't
So how great
know.
is that Salma Hayek dance?
You know what? I had dreams. They were very pleasant.
Nice. That's good. All right. Echo Base Network, Nick says, Dave, did you ever check out that bad I suggested last time?
The band
I Prevail.
Yes.
Their song Come and Get It is metal as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much for the suggestion. If anyone else has suggestions for bands, hit us up. I'll listen to them.
Absolutely. I'll look that. I don't know that band. I'll look that band up. The Richard is here. The Richard sends in a tip and says, Aloha, Rob and Dave. Happy Saturday on Midnight Metal. Patrick McNeil mentioned the Toadies. I want to share that I did their 1996 after party in Honolulu, and though they are alt-rock, my event was called Bloodletting and had a fetish fashion show. Bloodletting after the Concrete Blonde album. I know that
Concrete Blonde, super metal.
Super
metal. Concrete Blonde. Not that song.
The vampire song. Come on, that's the first song of Bloodletting.
It's fucking great.
I'm down in New Orleans.
Dude, it's like the Richard lives in Hawaii. He lives in fucking paradise, and we're here schlubbing.
He's not in Hawaii. He's like in the Midwest.
Oh, well, he was in Hawaii.
Yeah, he was in Hawaii.
Why the hell did you leave? What the hell, man?
I don't know.
Because prices, like for a gallon of milk, it's like $10.
So
Yeah,
what? It's Hawaii. It's Hawaii. Who cares?
Let's go move there. I've got some. I know somebody. You know, Chris Lee is tied into the university. They got to have a great film program. Let's go become film professors.
That's fine, and he can hook it. Like he knows how to hook us up with like good shit. So it's like good living accommodations. I mean, guys, when I say good shit, but that like let's do it. It's like I wouldn't want to teach it, but it's like, oh well, Hawaii, yeah, okay,
I'd go.
That's fine.
An underrated like metal album that people don't really consider metal is Aerosmith's Rocks album, and they're like, oh, that's hard metal. I'm like, well, if you fucking listen to it, it's fucking metal, dude.
Aerosmith rock and roll. It goes into the metal thing. It's like, yeah, I mean, they go right along with it, and yeah, fucking like everything with Aerosmith rocks.
And Joe Perry, man, like he performed Back in the Saddle on a Strat, and then that was stolen, and so now he plays on a fucking 6-string bass. How metal is that?
No,
that's
amazing.
Pretty metal.
Never mind the fact that they both admitted they snorted all the cocaine in Peru. They were known as the Toxic Twins.
Yeah, yes, they were.
Right, they were. Demon and screaming.
Yeah, it's like, and Joe Perry is part of the Hollywood Vampires that with Alice Cooper and Johnny Depp and that sort of like little super group side thing that they do. Also, it's just a shame because the whole era. The bummer is that Tyler and Perry don't really get along that well. Then they're just sort of like, well, it's it's Aerosmith. We make a lot of money, and let's just go do the shows. And they don't really fucking talk anymore. It's not really. It's like, and they are creating new music though. Steven Tyler, again, I said this before, went off and did like a quote unquote country album, which is sort of rock country, but it's really good. It's worth checking out if you're a fan of Steven Tyler's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ash Challen sends in a tip and says, Dave said, stop making Rami Malek a thing. It reminded me of actors who were supposed to be the next big thing. Freddie Prinze Jr., Sam Worthington, Taylor Kitsch, Julia Stiles, Josh Hartnett, Megan Fox. Not bad actors, but not the next star lead.
But I will say this. I think out of all of those that I heard, Taylor Kitsch is the one that was misunderstood because he's a really great actor. And if you want to challenge me, watch the limited series Waco.
Oh, he was David Koresh. He was great.
Fucking amazing. And you just go, he was Friday Night Lights, and then he was John Carter. And he was good as John Carter.
That movie was underrated.
Oh,
that
dude,
fucking movie is totally underrated.
Disney killed that movie on purpose. because of Star Wars.
and it sucks because it's a really fun, good,
it really is
fantasy adventure movie.
Yep.
And it's so not his fault. And he was great in Savages as well, the Oliver Stone movie.
I love Savages, based on the Don Winslow novel.
Yeah,
which I have right over there, and its sequel, The Kings of Cool, which they didn't make into a movie, but I like it, and I'm a huge Don Winslow fan, and I'm looking at his books right now. Yes. So, it's interesting. The actors who don't quite hit, they don't have that staying power. They come, they're big for a while, and then they go away.
You didn't even mention fucking Gambit.
Yes, he was. That's right. He was Gambit.
He was.
He was a good Gambit too.
I just try to forget that movie.
Yeah.
So
no,
there's good parts in it, but the final half of that movie was a concept.
My problem is I don't like the guy Liev Schreiber playing Sabretooth. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't care for it.
I liked him playing John Clark in Sum of All Fears, but I didn't like it. He's great on whatchamacallit.
He's a really good actor, but
Ray
he's
Donovan?
really good. Ray, I love him.
Yeah, he's
Ray
great. He's
great.
a really but he was wrong for that part.
I want him to be the Thing for the Fantastic Four, like, quite a bit.
I don't. I so don't. I don't.
With John Krasinski right next to him, I think that'd be great.
Oh God!
Come on, man. John Krasinski is Doc.
No. I think. Look, I mean, I think Blunt and Krasinski together would be interesting. I don't know if that's. I don't know if we found the Reed Richards yet. That's perfect.
Yeah, well, you might be right. Shogun Orta sends in a super chat and says, "Anybody get infinite thought loops on shrooms?"
Yes, of course.
I had that when I was high on weed, man. I watched Walking Dead when I was like just super baked, and I swear to God, I watched the opening scene like 4 times.
Of the first episode with the girl, the cop finding, what's his face, finding the little
just waking up in you mean the 28 days later?
The 28 days later opening.
Yeah,
man. Dude, I was like so high that night though. I was just like, I'm gonna go get my brother to sit right next to me so we can watch this, and then I was like, can't move. Never mind.
Okay, here's the thing. Everyone goes, oh, Krasinski, Reed Richards.
Hell yeah.
Who plays Doctor Doom? Who's Doctor Doom?
Well,
Mads Mikkelsen.
That would actually be fucking rad.
That would be.
Bro?
Fuck.
I love that idea.
God
Mads Mikkelsen is Doctor Doom.
Damn.
But he can't be because
the thing is,
he's already been Casillas in
right.
Doctor
That's
Strange.
the thing. And in the proper Marvel, and now the MCU, he's already been in it. So does that take him out of the running?
So there was another person in the
No, because Chris Evans was not in the. It was not the proper MCU
Not
when he was Human Torch.
There was like someone who was actually in it though. I'm trying to remember who it was who also played 2 characters.
Ryan Reynolds, was in Blade 3 and
but again, not technically proper MCU,
but proper MCU.
Yeah, and then Chris Evans was in like The Losers, right? He was in multiple.
No, Chris Evans was Human Torch.
Well, I know he
was also in The Losers,
but he's also in The Losers, which is a DC comic.
Right.
So, Kenneth 83DK says, "Is there a link in the description to the chat queue?" No, it's just random. I dropped the thing in. It's random. If you happen to make it and get in, you're there.
He just drops the thunder when he feels like
I drops.
I even like planned ahead of time. I put on a shirt that's a button up with snow cones on it. So I don't know if that's fucking metal or not, but I went for it.
Snow cones are metal. Sure, I love
and you
snow
know what?
cones.
Captain Rob got it. Josh Brolin.
Right.
That was the guy who's been in both.
Yep. Yeah.
Josh Brolin was in it twice. He was Thanos in what else?
Cable.
Deadman Cable.
Yeah, I don't think that counts though, right?
Yeah, I think it counts.
That's the Sonyverse.
Well, Sonyverse is now in
no. Cable's Deadpool, so it's X-Men. So
All right, I'll go with it.
yeah.
I'll go with it.
So he's in.
So Kenneth, no,
And
I just
and
randomly dropped.
Jonah Hex.
He was Jonah. He was Jonah Hex. So he's been Thanos, Jonah Hex, and Cable.
But guess what? Speaking of metal, Jonah Hex had a score done by Mastodon, which was the best part of the movie. Was the score?
Andrew Christie says Aerosmith's Rocks is awesome. Nobody's Fault is so metal.
Dude, I have that vinyl. I basically have almost every Aerosmith album on vinyl because they can do no wrong in my book.
I agree with you. Rob is strangely silent.
I'm sorry.
Rob's over here like I hated Toys in the Attic.
Rob is
I didn't.
Rob is like, I have no opinion.
No, I know. I was actually on the next chat, because this is very funny. Ron C sends in a super chat and says, "Rob and Dave, how's it hanging? It's hanging well.
Low.
Yeah. Earlier today, I watched a John Cassavetes film with Gina Rowlands in it called Gloria. How do you guys feel for a remake? It was remade with Sharon Stone. And it wasn't good. And it wasn't good. And Sidney Lumet directed it. And I was really excited for it. That was back in 99? Something like that?
99, early 2000s.
Yeah,
it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But Sidney Lumet is a very metal director in his own way. He's super fucking metal. If you guys don't know, just look up Sidney Lumet.
World-class filmmaker.
One of the best books on directing. If you want to be a director, you need to read Sidney Lumet's book on directing.
Yep. Andrew Christie says, am I crazy to think Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl is kind of metal for a Disney movie? I'd go with that.
It kind of was, bro.
I'd say
Are you
metal.
kidding? There's fucking corpses going underwater.
Yeah.
And the CGI kind of holds up, too.
Pirate skeletons going underwater. Very metal. Very metal.
Fucking yeah.
A guy drinks some rum and it comes out of his skeleton throat. That's metal.
It's metal. It's definitely metal. I'm a big fan. So I don't know, Dave. It's 2:39. What do you want to go to? Do we go to 3?
Let's make it to 3.
We'll go to 3.
We got another 20 minutes, guys.
So Jimmy,
if you can all hang with us. Can you?
I'm gonna see if I can get someone else in the chat. Somebody new.
Oh yeah. Can I say one thing though?
You fucking can, because that.
I have a comic book in the making, and I'm looking for artists. I'm writing with my friend. We have an editor. We have a letterer. We have a variant cover artist who's a very fucking well known in the game. But we just need an artist. We've already seen a few, haven't worked out. So if you want, just email me at Quirk, Q-U-I-R-K, Joshua, J-O-S-H-U-A, 99 at gmail.com. That's it.
Awesome.
All right, Jimmy. Well, I want to thank you for
man.
joining us on Midnight Metal. It's good to have you again. Good to see you again. Thanks for putting on a nice button-down shirt.
Nice to hang with you, man.
Good to hang with you.
Cones.
With snow cones. Gotta like that. And you know what? I don't know quite when people leave. I will throw the link in one more time. Here is the link. We'll probably be able to have one more guest tonight.
The lightning round.
Yes. So, Jimmy, I will see you later. Thank you for being here.
Bye, Jimmy
is gone. We are awaiting our next guest on Midnight Metal. Let's see if someone pops in. Dave,
I don't know. Is this cool? Is this cool? We doing cool? We doing good tonight, guys? You gotta let us know.
What are you talking about?
Of course, we being metal enough here. I don't know. I'm just making sure.
Oh, someone's here, Dave. Someone is here.
God.
Ooh, it's Stubble McShave, all the way from Sweden. Stubble McShave is here. Stubble, how are you? Wait, let me put you in the show. Stubble is a foundational member, and by the way, he sent me a Wheel of Time hardcover. Thank you very much, Stubble.
You get all the cool gifts, man.
I get all the cool gifts. People are always giving me cool shit.
That's awesome.
And let me bring Stubble in. Bring this down. I'm making him widescreen, so he's 235 to 1 here.
I'm just letting everyone. I'm reminding everyone that it's up to Rob to get me a Batman Beyond hot toy. That is the second one. So
all right, I'll make that happen. Everyone, give a big warm round of applause to Stubble McShave. Stubble is in the chat all the way from Sweden. Stubble, how are you?
I'm great.
Are you fucking metal this morning in Sweden?
Yeah. It's not really midnight metal. It's like morning glory, maybe.
Morning glory. That's what she said.
It's like over easy metal.
Yeah. She came riding round the mountain on a pony she named Wildfire. That's album-oriented rock from the 70s. Decidedly unmetal.
Yeah.
So there you go. So come on, Stubble. What happened to you metal that happened this week? Anything?
Oh.
Did anything happen metal to you?
Yeah, I'm on your show. That's metal.
Oh, good answer. Good answer. Stubble McShave is on the show, and that is fucking metal. Yes, it is. My God. Well, welcome. And I got your Wheel of Time book, so I'm very excited. I will jump into that immediately because I have to know. I have to know. I have to know.
The first one is free.
Oh, yeah. The first, it's like, again, I'm going to be addicted and I'll have to go get the whole thing. And they all have to be hardcovers now, too.
But what is please explain to the ignorant me, what is the Wheel of Time?
That's a good question.
Where should I start? It's a massive book series, 14 800-page books, more or less.
That's fucking metal.
And
that's heavier than metal.
I did the math on it, and I checked out how long the audiobook was. And if you take the original series, Star Trek, the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, all those episodes are as long as if you listen to the whole thing.
So you're talking about if you listen to it, it would take years.
17 and a half days.
Holy, like straight through 17.
Yeah,
that's
24 hours times 17.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a little bloated at times, but maybe they could have shortened it to 12 or something.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And Rob, you have just the first one?
He just sent me the first book. I've heard about Wheel of Time. They're doing a series. It's the series is in production.
So if you want a metal connection, he wrote 7 Conan books as well.
Oh,
well, there you go.
That's super metal.
Yeah.
How long has the series been going on? I'm just curious because I've never heard of the series.
The first one was released in 1990, and the last one 2013.
Wow.
And it was finished by another author because the original author died.
Okay. Much like George R.R. Martin is going to be with Game of Thrones, probably.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Sorry.
Martin won't have the notes. He's a pantser. He doesn't plan ahead in the same way.
Right. Pantser is somebody who flies by the seat of their pants.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, Robert, had you been aware of the series beforehand?
Oh, yeah. No, it's Robert Jordan. The Wheel of Time series is a very famous series.
Robert Jordan, who did Watership Down? Is that the same? That's not, I'm getting this wrong, right?
That's Richard Adams, I think.
Richard Adams. Sorry, guys. Wow. Fine. I'm an idiot.
You could say that it's a story of how someone gets tapped on the shoulder and they have to save the world, but in order to do that, they have to go crazy and kill everyone they love, and they have to gain both personal and political power in the world. So it's an all-encompassing world story.
That's crazy. How did you get involved? When did you first find the books, and how did you get sort of obsessed and into this?
I was in what's the equivalent? High school, I guess. we got on a report that we had to read an English book and do a report on it. So most people picked 80-page, 100-page books or watched the movie and did a report. I found an 800-page book and read it, and then it said it will be continued in the volume 2. So I read the second book, will be continued volume 3. I read the third book, and then I looked out on the internet, and it said, "Oh, it's not finished, and there's 7 books published." So maybe I should pick something else. I picked the standard mystery, and did the thing that.
So,
but I was hooked on the series.
So you're a real slacker when it comes to this thing. I mean, I guess, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, I don't know if I would have it in me to like. How many did you say? 14, 15 volumes, or more?
More.
14 and a prequel. But you shouldn't read the prequel before. You should read it at earliest at book 5, because it reveals some things.
That's crazy. I mean, Rob, I think you're the only person I know who's probably read a series of books that probably maybe more, which would be the Star Trek books.
Yes, I've read probably too many.
I mean, how many in general would your guess is how many of those books are there?
Oh, there's hundreds.
Hundreds. And how many do you think how many do you think you've legitimately read?
You know what? I've bought them all. And I probably read in my life probably a quarter of the ones that exist, because some of the I bought them all, but some of them I just they're not interesting to me. The stories aren't interesting to me. And then there's different tiers of Star Trek novels. So there are hardcover Star Trek novels, and the first hardcover Star Trek novel came out in 1988. It was Diane Duane's Spock's World, and that was the first pocket books Star Trek hardcover. And when the hardcovers came out, I'm looking at them, they all were sort of prestige stories that had the Tiffany, the great stories in them. And that doesn't mean I still didn't buy like the novels, the regular paperbacks, but when Pocket Books got the rights to publish Star Trek novels after Star Trek the Motion Picture came out, that's when I was reading. I read most of the Star Trek novels that came out in the 80s. Okay. And they were mostly original series. And then I continued to buy them, but it just got to the point where, and there's a lot of good ones. I mean, I would go back and forth, and sometimes I'll go back and pick them up. There's a lot. There's got to be, that's funny. There's hundreds. And when I say hundreds, let's see. Let's put it into Google.
Because you know what, guys, if you don't know, reading is metal. Reading is very metal.
It is. How many Star Trek novels are there? There's no answer to that question. Every Star Trek ever. List of Star Trek novels on WikiWand. Wow. The Star Trek franchise has a 53-year history of tie-in fiction, which began with the 1967 publication of James Blish's Star Trek 1. Wow. But it won't tell you. Okay. There's very, very many, but literally hundreds. I wish somebody would give me a number, but there aren't. What are you going to do?
Well, all right.
Oh, wait, here's a list. Hang on. Oh, well, this list stops on different things. Like, okay, for instance, there's numbered Star Trek novels of the original series. The numbered Star Trek novels from 1979 to 2002 went all the way to 97, and those were all classic Star Trek novels that were numbered, and that's just the number books, and they stopped numbering them. Wow. And then it's just insane. Then the original novels from 86 to the present, then they're not even giving me it's just, dude, this list is insane. There's a million numbered novels from the Next Generation novels. There is numbered novels there were 63. But and then they would stop numbering them. So there's a million.
That's crazy.
The hardcover, it's insane. This is crazy. Yeah, it's nuts.
But anyway, so Stubble, what other, like, besides this Wheel of Time, what's your most favorite, like, what you consider like metal movie. That doesn't mean about music or something that you just think fucking rocks. It doesn't have to be about music, but what's your thing? What's your go-to? Like,
Do you mean my favorite or the most metal movie?
The most metal movie that you think, in your opinion, that you love?
Conan and Excalibur, I think.
Those are pretty damn metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think did you have in the 80s, do you have the division between the synth groups and the hard rock groups as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I in my head, I think that the synth groups the music came from the mind, the head, whilst the metal and hard rock groups that came from the heart.
Or the crotch.
It was passion, while the others was more constructed intellectual music.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's true. But you guys have some powerhouse bands that come out of.
Yeah, we have a lot of metal bands.
Why is Sweden so metal? Why? What is it about the Swedish spirit that leads them to have many heavy metal bands? Why does that happen?
I don't know. I think it's the dark winters. It's the frustration. It's the those things. The need to express oneself when you're sitting alone in the dark.
Right. All right.
Okay, this is going to be a question that I want to ask. Rob, I've decided I want to ask all the guests that we bring on, because I saw someone say this in the chat, going, "The most metal movie I've seen, heavy metal." And my thing is, I don't think heavy metal, the movie, the animated film, is a metal movie.
I don't either.
Do you?
Stubble,
do you think heavy metal is a metal movie?
Not really. I agree with you.
I feel very validated, because I got into this big argument about this with other people, and they were like, "No, it is. It totally is." It's like there's no metal music in it except for Black Sabbath's "The Mob Rules."
Yeah,
that's it. Yep. And it's like some imagery. Yes, the posters are very metal.
Yeah, Tarna and all that.
Oh my God, yeah. But I just don't find, even the Bernie Wrightson story, the bomber. It's like I don't find that exactly metal. I think it's very cool. But I got into this huge argument with people, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because they were going, "Oh, it's like the most metal movie ever. It's called heavy metal." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I was, again. I saw someone bring it up in the chat, and I'm like, yeah.
I think if you have Wagner in a movie, it's a more metal movie than if you have.
That's why I agree with you.
That's why Excalibur
is so fucking metal.
Yeah,
Wagner was the fucking Black Sabbath metal fucking AC/DC of his day.
Goethe Damerung.
Yeah.
You know, the Das. The Ring of Das Nibelung.
Yeah.
Rob, I just thought if you want another dimension to reading the books, you should search on Google Mosk the Giant, M-O-S-K the Giant.
Oh no.
And it's a short text, but it will give you an insight into the world. I think you can read it here. It will take maybe a minute or two.
Mosk the Giant, Wheel of Time. Mosk the Giant is a character in one of the ancient stories in Tom Maryland's repertoire. The story of Mosk the Giant dates back to the First Age. Mosk had a lance of fire that could reach around the world and went to war with Elsbeth, the queen of all. Mosk also used spears of fire to fight against Merk, another giant of great strength. The tales of Mosk, Merk, and Elsbeth are examples of historical accounts that over time evolved into legends, which further changed and faded into myth. This is common for all the stories that transcend multiple ages as the wheel of time turns. Eventually, the myth of Mosk the Giant will disappear from memory and will be long forgotten when the age that gave rise to the original story comes again. Wow. And there's a picture.
And then read parallels after that.
Parallels.
That's
Mosque
awesome.
is a hidden reference to Moscow, and Merc refers to America. Their struggle against each other refers to the Cold War of the 20th century. Elsbeth, the Queen of All, is a hidden reference to Queen Elizabeth of the United Kingdom. Mosque's war with Elsbeth and Merc implies a conflict between the USSR and the allied Western nations of the UK and the USA. The spears and lances of the fire utilized by the Giants refer to the combat waged via the use of intercontinental ballistic missiles. Wow, man, this is heady stuff.
So this is long time in the future. The story is long time in the future when they have forgotten our time.
Wow.
And just myths.
Interesting. So
and since it's a wheel of time and it's a circular time, the characters are the source of our myths. So you will see things towards the end of the series. You will see things that will give you a precursor, perhaps, to Nordic gods, Slavic gods, and so on.
Wow.
So it's time goes in a wheel. So it's in our world in the distant future after
Love it.
apocalypse. So has nothing to do with the story. It's just like an Easter egg, but it gives another dimension to it.
Nice. Ash Chowan, by the way, says, I just sent in a quickie Photoshop pic, not my best work. Took maybe 15 minutes, but it's what Dave asked for, Rob as Butterball, or as I like to call him, Robert Ball. Apologies, Rob. I think you'd make a better Pinhead for sure. Well, I can't get that because you probably sent it to the website. I can't get it till tomorrow. I can't get it off the website. I apologize.
I look forward to seeing it, though.
I'll put it up. And Anthony Gonzalez says, what's up, metalheads? Robert, who is more metal, Kern, son of Moog, or General Martok? Ooh, those are Klingon questions. You know what? General Martok is more metal than Kern.
It's a more metal name.
I love Kern. General Martok is fucking metal. He had his eye. He lost his eye. General Martok is fucking metal. He's so metal. And this question is for everyone. Is the Paxton film Frailty metal?
No.
I don't think it's metal.
Great. It's a great movie.
It is good.
It's a great movie.
Really good. It's
Great
really
movie.
good.
And then I saw a couple on the chat. Like Austin Hale goes, doesn't need to have metal music for it to be a metal movie. Lots of horror movies have no rock music and still can be metal.
Yep.
I totally agree. And then Bunyan Snipes says, AC/DC is not heavy metal. It's like, you're right, they're hard rock, but you know, the heavy metal, the metal thing encompasses many things.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going. And then I think it was RC who said, is Maximum Overdrive metal?
Yes.
And it is pure fucking metal.
It's totally
AC/DC did the score to the entire fucking movie. Absolutely fucking metal. An amazing movie in all the wrong ways. And all you have to do is see Yeardling Smith, the voice of Lisa Simpson, in that movie.
Yes,
and go,
you do.
You can never see anything but Lisa Simpson in that movie afterwards. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Listen, everyone. It is 3 o'clock. We're gonna end this. I gotta go to bed. I know it's decidedly unmetal. Last night I could barely speak. I was so tired and
But now
drunk.
he's sober.
I know. I'm totally sober tonight.
I get the sober Rob.
Yeah, it's okay. We got to do this, but we are going to be back next Saturday. Yeah. I'll probably come back next Friday. I want to thank everybody who guested on the show. Currently, Stubble McShave all the way from Sweden.
Yeah,
thanks for coming on. It's been great having people. I want to thank everybody who supports Midnight Metal with chats and super chats, or super chats and tips. Thank you so much. It's a fun show to do, and I want to thank my co-host Dave Parker. Dave, can people find you on social media?
I am on Instagram under Parker Vision.
Parker Vision. Stubble, can anyone find you on social media?
I don't have a presence on any. I am on social media, but I don't have a channel or anything. But I'm at TOMP115.
Okay, TOMP115. There you go. People, you know where to find me because you're here on my channel, so I don't have to tell you where to find me, which is good. I want to thank everybody. People are writing letters. Thanks for writing letters in. Ash, I thank you for the artwork. I very
can't
much
wait to
appreciate
see
that.
this Butterball artworort. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it. He better share it. Don't.
Oh, I'll share it.
Him if he doesn't share it.
There's nothing is beyond sharing. But let's remind everybody, Ash did this, making me. This is me as, of course, Steppin' Rob right there. I'm Steppin' Rob. Thank you very much. So there you go. And
thank you guys so much on my part. For me, I'm sorry, Rob. I interrupted you again.
No, it's okay.
Thank you guys for putting up with me. I really, really do enjoy doing this every Saturday. It's great to do it with Rob. It's great to meet all these people that I know have been huge Rob supporters for so long. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for letting me just geek out on metal stuff. It's awesome.
And we'll keep doing it. It's fun. People like the show. I want to thank my moderators for being here. Bunyan Snipe from the UK is here. The Richard was sending in things, but I want to thank you for being here, Bunyan, and being a Blue Wrench and moderating. Thank you so much.
Bunyan, you were never in jail for saying AC/DC isn't metal. Just saying. I saw his, little thing. I'm just letting him know.
So on that note, I'm going to say farewell, good night, and remember, every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. And Stub McShave, everybody should support the Wheel of Time when it finally comes out and drops. Buy Wheel of Time books, read them, because Stubble is the biggest Wheel of Time fan, I think, on the planet Earth. I'm just going to say flat out.
Much bigger than me exist in the world.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You're just being Swedish and shy. I think you're the biggest.
I've only read it about 10 times or so. That people have read
only
it
10 times.
Over 50 times on scars and everything.
Wow. Like all right. Well, you're our biggest Wheel of Time fan, so we claim you. We claim you. The Post-Geek Singularity claimed you. And I want to say thank you to everyone. I will be back with Mr. Dieter Bastian at 11 o'clock for Let's Get Physical Media, which that is in, 8 hours from now. I'm going to go sleep and then do observations. And so everyone, live long and prosper and all of that. And we will see you again. So this is the end of Midnight Metal.